Opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Hey, Daddy, this a dollar beat.
BoxingVoice.com.
No matter what nobody say, man. Spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, your kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, you know, any footage of a fighter. I mean, because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar, but I feel like he was straight up and down, no special effects.
BoxingVoice.com.
How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for 300 million, and I made 350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on the app.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'm a king, okay? I eat a feast. Every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
BoxingVoice.com.
Good morning, TBV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Thursday morning edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. It is August 6, 2020, and we're back to talk some more boxing. Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia. Coach Anthony believes Garcia's left hook will have Spence punch drunk. But I'll give you the actual audio on his Instagram and the way that he presented it on his social media so you can get all its entertainment value. That being said, we will have Coach Anthony to discuss the fact that he seems to be leaning towards Danny Garcia, the Philadelphia native, but I feel maybe he's leaning that way because there is some bias on his behalf. Maybe he's from Philly or too close to Philadelphia. That being said, the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. And look, don't forget, you can also add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation from anywhere in the world. And, come kick it and talk some boxing with us, man. So I want to thank everybody for continuing to join the Boxing Voice every morning at 9 a.m. and every Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. I want to thank you all for subscribing to the YouTube channel and helping us achieve our secondary goal of 115,200. Seems we're way above that, and now we're moving on to 115,300. Also, I want to remind you, this is the Voice of the People, where you get to voice your opinion, and you will always hear the latest news, topics, and interviews. Speaking of interviews, we will have two, Coach Anthony and Steve USS Cunningham, on the show. Today is a jam-packed day for interviews. If you don't know, and this is your first day finding the show, we do go live twice guaranteed today, once at 9 a.m., again at 7 p.m. And at 7 p.m., that big Thursday preview and prediction show where we'll be giving all our predictions for this weekend's fights. We're going to have expert I Pick Wins Mystic Zach back on the show to help us with some picks and maybe use some of that information for a possible Patreon betting show. Then we're also going to have Mario Barrios. I wanted to make Mario Munguia, our co-host, happy. You know, he's been talking about Ryan Cowboy Carroll and Mario Barrios fighting. So, look, they're going to be fighting pretty soon. Let's get them on the show. And then last but not least, Islandri Laura, Cuban multiple-time champion. He will be on the show, and we're going to ask him all about that divorce. Boom. Nah, I'm joking. Yo, but listen, man, let me introduce my co-host, Helen from Corpus Christi, Mario Munguia, and from New Jersey, Alexander Lioness. What it do, gentlemen?
What up? What up, Doomy?
What up, champs?
What
Goonies
up?
in the building. The Goonies in the building. Good morning, everybody. I'm chilling, man. I'm wondering if the gauntlet from Thanos on Danny Garcia's left hook is really gonna matter now that my man Earl got basically a metal grill, right? Like, are we really worrying about it? I don't know. I'm not a I'm not an expert on chin debilitations. You know what I'm saying? I don't know exactly if his chin is like at 60 now, and I don't know. I don't know what to think about. We keep looking at Earl as a sort of like I don't even know if I have the right word, Mario. Sort of like a pity. Oh, look, if he says he's ready, he's ready. You know what I'm saying? I don't see in any place where his camp, his family lets him go into a fight just for the money. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not in my thought. So yeah, I'm thinking it ain't gonna matter, man. He's still gonna be as durable as he's ever been. What we always was an important factor to me was the brain. Anything not firing off properly. Reflexes, reaction time. Visuals. Is he able to see the punches coming? That's the sort of stuff I'm worrying about. You know what I'm saying? But he hasn't shown that really. I mean, if you wanna talk about the stuff you've seen on social media, him riding off with his machine gun, going to shoot coyotes and shit. I mean, I would too if they were trying to eat my cattle or whatever, or bite my horses. So I think it's just the anticipation that everybody's just coming up with stuff. Yeah, cheers.
BZ with the super chat says, been working overtime. Missed you guys, man. I need my boxing fix. Damn, BZ, they don't let you use earbuds or Bluetoothity tooth. So we might be having Steve SS Cunningham jumping on. He was supposed to be running a test, see if his Skype is working. Mario, you alive?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, wow. Sometimes you just stand there. I don't know if it's your internet or
I got the both dogs just like trapped me right now. I'm like, damn, I want to kick them off, but they're asleep. But they got me in this weird position where I'm just like sitting awkwardly.
Nah, man, I get it,
Sucks.
man. I'm in those. I got my dog behind me. If I move back too much, I'm rolling it over.
Like yesterday?
Like yesterday, bruh. But where do we begin, man? Danny Garcia versus Errol Spence. He's the mandatory. He's going to be defending his titles, Earl is. And Danny's pretty much an underdog. He's pretty much an underdog in this fight. And the reason I got Coach Anthony is because, let me pull up his Instagram, because he's on his Instagram and, he's like campaigning for Danny hard. Like, yo, why y'all sleeping on Danny? Yada, yada, yada. So the first post originated, that made me want to get him on the show is this one. And shout out to Javier Caputillo. Listen, champ, I'm all on you. I know you guys fighting Santa Maria, fighting Mikel Fox Saturday. Yo, we gonna be watching. He says, super chat, he says, Edwin Valero had a metal plate in his head and he was a beast. Thumbs up.
That's true.
Did you go?
That is definitely true.
DeMarco said he broke his knuckles on. Nah, I'm joking.
Oh, I was like, whoa.
So
and the legend grows.
So this is, I'm screen sharing it, and he says, his caption is, this is how Spence talk. I guess you should have put, this is how Spence gonna be talk. Oh, no. This gonna be how Spence talk after Danny Garcia hit him with that left hook. 3 little emojis, and look, I get it. He's teasing. And like he said, he reposted us and the fact that we're interviewing. He said, look, it started off with a post and now it turns into an interview. But as you can see, and I'll show you shortly, everything from this post is about Danny and Earl. So he's very adamant and confident about his decision that Danny is a live dog is what he likes to say. He's not saying Danny's going to win, but he's like to say Danny's a live dog. Now, in this post, obviously it indicates that Danny's going to win because he says, this is going to be how Spence talks after Danny hits him with the left hook. 3 laughing out loud emojis. Let me play the audio.
Oh, he's talking about how he beat you now.
Yeah, he beat me amateurs. Look, I started fighting in 2015. In 2015, I started fighting in 2015. He beat me in 2016. I was here fighting.
Nobody beat you in 2016, bro.
I did.
That's when he had his braids. When he cut his braids.
No, he beat me in 2000. No, I started fighting in 2015. He beat me in 2017. In 2 years. He started fighting for 2 years in the boxing. I started fighting when I was 15 years old. Oh, 15. I started fighting when I was 15 years old. I was born in 1990. 2015, I was 15 years old. He beat me in 2007.
Yo, let's just stop it there because, look, everybody's probably seen this. And if you haven't, this is a clip that went viral of Errol Spence doing interviews in the Barclays Center. And many insinuated that he might have been indulging in some alcoholic beverages before the interview.
They all look like they was in.
So, for Coach Anthony, he's like, he's drunk here, so he'll be punch drunk after the left hook. So that's the first post. That one caught my attention, though. I'm like, uh-oh. And I had missed these other two, right? So we'll go back and we'll click the first two that he put. He put Danny Garcia versus Spence. Who you got? And I guess that's what led up to the video, right? Because he's like feeling his followers out, and he really gets very good retention. You see he's got 700 thumbs up on this. He gets good views on his videos. Here's another one with almost 1,500 thumbs up, or rather likes or whatever. And he says, can I ask a question? Why are so many people sleeping on Danny Garcia versus Errol Spence? And why do y'all keep saying Earl is too big? Pause. Danny hit like a Mack truck and is not the smaller guy by any means. Pause again. Not to add, Earl picked a hard fight to bounce back from after a terrible car accident. This is not a fight to sleep. And Danny, mark my words. Hashtag boxing life. So he's saying don't sleep on this fight. Don't sleep on Danny. Mark his words. Again, sounding more and more confident that he believes Danny's going to win. So then obviously the next post is him posting about, drunk Earl. Next one is Floyd and Marquez himself. Then he posts us and he says, started off as a post, now it's turning into an interview. This Thursday, 9:30 a.m. Tune in to the Boxing Voice and listen to my interview about Danny versus Earl fight, hashtag boxing life. I just want to go ahead and thank him for that because so many other people we get on here, they don't do that. That's kind of perfect. And there's been no more because he knows that no need to put it on my platform. We're going to discuss it. It'll be out there to the world today in about 18 minutes. But this is where this originated from. And look, I think that the Danny Earl fight is huge. Everybody is really looking forward to this. Like, I don't think there's a bigger fight on the horizon unless you factor in Teofimo Vasil, which is falling apart, right? We reported on that yesterday. So I don't know. What on paper, like what is done that is as big or is going to produce, I don't know about excitement, but anticipation, right? Like we're anticipating certain outcomes from Earl versus Garcia.
Yeah, listen, first I want to make this point. I'm starting to see more and more people come out for Danny. Like, I remember we read the Steve Kim thing, right? And it was like kind of shocking to see, but it seems like more and more people are coming after Danny. I don't know. I just don't see it that way. Are y'all there? Oh yeah,
we're here.
Yeah.
Okay.
What,
there you go.
Mean
no,
you
that's
don't see
frozen.
what like you don't see them because you said coming after Danny, or you mean are they're picking Danny?
No. They're picking Danny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I meant to say picking Danny. Yeah. No, they're picking Danny, and it's just getting like this stronger and stronger feeling. And I liken it back to like how I started looking at the fight. Like originally when this fight started getting made, I was like, oh, or when they started getting talked about, it was like, oh, Earl's got that. Like that's, it's a good win and it's a credible name, but that's easy work. Not easy work, but it's definitely a fight for him to win for sure. And it just wasn't. Or I don't feel that way anymore.
You know what's the thing about me, Mario? I never saw it as like Earl washing Danny even before the accident. Like, I don't understand where the people, or some people stand in that, Earl's gonna wash Danny and Earl was gonna wash Danny and then a lot of people felt like that, you know what I'm saying? And I still feel that, from before, even when he was all right, he wasn't going to wash Danny. So even if he's 100% right now and nothing happened with the accident, he's still not going to wash Danny. Danny, it's a tough fight. And people got to start understanding that more.
Like, not being able to, like, okay, calling it a wash and feeling like Earl can't lose should be two different things to people. You know what I'm saying? Like you can feel like there's no way Earl loses, but then also realize that won't make it, a 12-0, 10-2 type of victory. You know what I'm saying? And that won't even make every round like, damn, Earl's just beating the crap out of him. Like, there's going to be swing rounds. There's going to be moments where Danny has momentum. It's going to be like any other fight in that sense because they're both high quality fighters. But from Coach Anthony's perspective, those are some big words, man. I don't know. I'm curious to see where he's coming at this from, like not even a technical standpoint, but just an overall, how he sees it playing out.
I'm actually worried. I'm worried that he's coming at it from a fan,
Trolling?
too close to Philly.
Got you.
I trained with Tevin. I trained with Hank, so I know Danny. I've seen him come up. Is it that? You know what I mean? Because we get caught up in that. I do. If I seen you, I seen Shadasia train, so I'm gonna be picking her. You know what I mean? So he might feel the same way.
Yeah, no, I agree. But that's a problem, I think, for the fight, and that's like a good thing for me. Like, I'm a fan of Earl. I've seen him for years. I'm from Texas, but at the end of the day, like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I look at it. I never thought that Earl would beat Crawford. I still don't feel that way. It's a competitive fight, and I think he could win. I just wouldn't pick him. And I say that to say that, I think I'm looking at this fight with fresh eyes. I don't think that there's any bias, one way or the other. There's no hate for Danny or extra love for Earl. I just look at the fight straight down the middle, and I don't think that Danny's left hook nullifies enough of Earl's attributes.
It can nullify if he gets hit with it, right? It can damn near nullify any fighter.
Yeah, but it don't gotta nullify you. It just gotta get your attention. Then the right hand comes. Like, that's a combination. Yeah. Remember, left hook, point. Right hand.
He also has a right hand. Everybody relies on this left hook, but
that's
is anybody
a common
thinking about how smart you gotta be? All right, let's say take it to account that he was in an accident. Earl comes back, and maybe he doesn't want to go in there like he did with Porter. Maybe he doesn't go in there like he did with Mikey Garcia. Maybe he goes in there and he's a bit more careful. Maybe we start seeing different wrinkles in Errol Spence's game, which he has showed us here and there. But for the most part, he's just been so dominant in his fights that he hasn't had to use it. So in this case, he's been in a bad accident. Maybe you don't see him trying to get into these hard shot exchanges with Danny. Danny can knock him out. And there is a question.
I don't know about knock him out. Like, look, can anybody be knocked out with the right punch? Yeah, but Danny hasn't knocked out a welterweight in when?
What I'm saying is that the possibility of two elite fighters as themselves, with the power they carry and those type of punches, they can knock each other out. I mean, look, Earl put Porter down. Yeah, it wasn't the best put down. It wasn't like, he got the count and all that. Porter's hard to put down, but he was put down. And that's what happens when these elite fighters face each other.
Yeah, but Porter has showed that he could be put down by a 135-pounder moving up in Adrian Broner. So, you can't give Earl too much credit for that. But we got a super chat from Supermax in Texas. He says, yo, when did Mike come back? Oh wait, it's Mario.
Yo, he's so mad. He thinks Spence beats Crawford. He's funny. Um, but yo, listen, I don't know. I think Earl does have Danny problems. So before we even talk about Crawford, like, look, I give Earl a lot of respect because you're gonna be in Bud's situation. That's a tough situation to be in. You're not fighting anybody. But the problem when you have people to fight is that the fights are tough. You know, coming off the Porter fight that was rugged, coming off the accident, like everybody keeps talking about that. But I think Doomy said it best at the beginning of the show. Um, Danny's a problem regardless of all that. You know what I'm saying? Like Danny has shown time and time again that he'll rise to a certain level. And I know a lot of people are like, yo, that's old Danny. You know, what have you done for me lately? You know, what are the caliber of fighters that he's beaten? And I get that. I just think that regardless, you look at his losses, he's been in there tough. He's given everybody issues for the most part. You know what I mean? So, Earl, it's gonna be the same thing with Earl. You know what I mean? And I just think ultimately though, when the fight gets down to the nitty gritty, Earl's got more tools in the tool belt. You know what I'm saying? He's Batman out there, and it's like whatever he needs, he got it. You know, he's gonna be hanging from the rafters, but yeah, I just don't see him getting outworked. I mean, I don't see him getting outworked, but I don't know. I don't see him getting outsmarted.
I think that's the you know where I'm most worried about Earl. Like, when are you going to get the sparring? How far off is it from camp? And is it enough? You know, is it enough for him to get his timing right? Things like that are more of my concern. You know, what's going on in camp.
Yeah,
did
man.
you freeze, Mario?
Many fighters say they don't worry about what the other fighter is doing. You know, I'm gonna come at the interview from like a learning standpoint. Like, yo, what advantages does the orthodox who has a good left hook hold over the southpaw? Because I find it super difficult to use your hook versus a southpaw. Like, you're busy pawing that jab of the southpaw. If not, he gonna be hooking your ass. So I don't know. I want to hear what the coach got to say, because again, when I'm in the ring with a southpaw, your jab becomes a pity pat thing. You barely throwing it hard, unless obviously you're the dominant fighter, and that southpaw is basically following your rhythm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know his levels, his tricks and little things you can do. I'm curious to see what Coach Anthony has to say. You know, all coaches have different angles and strategies, and it's always good to see and hear from an elite coach.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, you know. I mean, and I hope he has some of that, and it isn't just like, nah, you know, I'm riding with Danny because I seen him win all these amateur tournaments. I seen him fight this. Like, I want to hear something from a.
I mean, I
trainer
could give you a
standpoint.
couple that, I mean, you probably have a couple of stances and where one kind of has an advantage over the other. I mean, look, right, southpaw. All right, the liver's on the right side. So if Danny wants to hook to the body instead of the head, he can go ahead and start doing that. When that pity pat contest that you just mentioned, you know, that happens a lot with a southpaw, and it's like it's a little annoying, actually, almost anxiety that you get, because you're literally just pawing at each other tit for tat. But off those paddings. You could time your guy, come in with a right hand, you know, lead him back as he's leading back with his hand back into his guard, and so on. You know, there's a few things that you could do, but I'm pretty sure that the Danny Garcia camp is really getting prepared for a southpaw, and you know, for Earl, all of them mostly are orthodox. Real big shout out real quick
Supermax.
and super chat, Mr. Supermax, who I got the bet with. 100 on demand, Teofimo versus Loma. He says, all I know is Earl fighting the top names at 147. Meanwhile, Bud light fighting the menu. You from Joe's Crab Shack on the TR diet. Hashtag
Top
man
rank
down.
diet, baby.
Shark
Isu,
emoji, shark emoji.
Isu Akuni with a super chat says, how did Danny look versus Judah and Guerrero? Good SP. What could SP stand for? Good sport?
Oh, you know what? Could it be that? I mean, right
Nah.
now I'm sort of
Good show, people. SP. Yo, that's what it stands for. Good show, people. Good show, people. I get it. That's what SP.
champ.
So, he did look good versus Judah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, bruh, you could throw left hook, right hand. Because when you throw the left hook, they go like this. So when they go like this and they put the earmuffs, you go straight down the middle. And that's a common combination for an orthodox fighter. But even more for a left hooker. If you remember, that was Broner's, specialty. When Broner was young, that he had a phrase. He would say, left hook, left hook, straight, good night, something like that. I don't know if anybody remembers it. Like, Broner was hot.
It was a boxing nursery rhyme.
Yeah, because every time he won, he had something to say. You know what I mean? Yeah. He always had like a little something, and then that one kind of stuck. I hope someone can correct me. I know I'm botching it. You know what I mean? But he used to say something like that, like left hook good night or left hook right good night. It used to be even captions on his pictures, but maybe y'all didn't follow him like that.
That sound like it rhymes.
I'm with Rue. Shout out to Joe's Crab Shack. I haven't been there in a minute, but I used to love going there and just getting. I don't even know what the name of the big one is, but I used to get that big one with everything.
Yo, the vegetarian Kings. Going on 2 years, champy.
So you don't eat crab either? You call that meat too?
Yeah, all of that. That's dungeon fish. I don't eat dungeon fish.
That's sea meat, baby.
I don't eat fish that eat pollution.
You wildin'.
Yo, but look, again, bro, it's strategies, man. Strategies, who's the bigger guy, who's stronger. All that stuff is pretty much being talked about in these camps, man. You got to understand, these camps are like war rooms. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about the other guy's strengths and weaknesses. I don't care when they come on here and they're talking about, I don't care about this, I don't care about that. I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has to be able to know who they're fighting, man. And again, like, if it's not the fighter, it's the team watching film. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you prepare for war. Preparation loves victory, champion. And again, the one with the question mark right now is Errol Spence Jr. because of the accident. I never questioned Danny Garcia. Before or after the accident that Earl had, it was always going to be a tough fight. Any of these top guys.
Oh, he said SP stands for Southpaw. That's what Joseph Rodriguez said. But nah.
Oh, good Southpaw.
Nah, it stands for good show, people. But yeah, they were Southpaws, yo. But chill, Chizzy, like, yo, Judah wasn't. Like, he's not Earl, you feel me? Like, Earl is prime, even with the accident. Even with the accident, Earl gets more favor. Like, he gets more. He's more of a favorite than Judah ever. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The dude's on the quad, riding hard, chasing coyotes with a machine gun. Like, the dude is all right, bro. A dude that's not all right is not gonna have all his senses to be able to do all that stuff, And now that I'm thinking about it, I think that he's all right too, because I said earlier that anything with the brain was more of my concern, because physically he looked okay. But he's riding quads and all that stuff, guys. He's all right, man. I think all the engines are firing off pretty okay, and the concern is how much sparring and when he's going to be able to do it so that he's ready, because we all know in boxing that's the most important exercise. It is the sparring. I remember James Toney was one of the guys who he wouldn't work out. He'd spar his way into shape, so that's the importance of it and how much he can prepare. Now, Earl's going to be the bigger guy. We all know this. You know what I'm saying? We could give him that much in this with a 72-inch reach. You know, he's going to have at least 2 inches on each side, or 1.5 inches on each side of reach, maybe 2 inches if I'm not incorrect. So that reach is going to be a problem. Danny usually likes to counterpunch guys if they're not exchanging with him. So
looks like we're gonna be getting Coach Anthony in a bit. He downloaded Skype yesterday, and Cunningham also fixed his Skype issues. It looked like we were almost not gonna have Cunningham via Skype. So hopefully both these guys could get it together and we get this going. He should be jumping on any second. You know, he's got to email it to himself and all that goodness. But, yeah, man, we're going to get this show going. It's going to be a long one, fellas. It's going to be a long one, you know. Because I know Doomy got to cut out, but I might hold it down alone because Mike Polite Coffee, fellas, snuck up on us. He fighting Saturday. Dog, boxing is back. Like, everybody's fighting. It's like, yo, how you get a fight and I don't even know? And
I'm gonna put you to sleep.
Yeah, I'm already sleeping on his career. Like, shout out to Lawrence Williams, I believe on Facebook. Let me check my Facebook, man.
Yeah,
I
Lawrence,
appreciate.
shout out to Lawrence. Real quick, Jared Lloyd for this morning's Super Chat Entertainment. The Bum Lord, a.k.a. the Pedestrian Beater, provides the one-sided beatdowns. If I want to see an assault on a pedestrian, I'll go hang out on the wrong side of town. I watch Earl and other PBC fighters for the fights.
For the fights.
Pro fight. I think it just was supposed to be pro fights, but we hear you.
So
yeah,
let me double check this here. I wanted to make sure I gave the credit to who sent it to me.
Send it to you. Yeah, Earl, yo, watch. And Earl, yo, you know the funny thing is Earl's going to want to come back and really put it on Danny. Because, like, you know, not only has he said it, that he's ready, that he's 100%, that he's hungry. We've heard the heartfelt conversations on different interviews. And he feels as though, you know, he's gotten a second chance at life. He's not going to take anything for granted. And then just simply saying that he's ready and he's ready to go, man. He's ready to fight. So
Lawrence
Williams.
Bro,
yeah, he's going to want to go in there.
He even sent me footage of Polite's opponent. Polite is fighting an undefeated dude, but, bro, if he don't knock him out, come on.
Yo, you saw the article this morning I sent with Daichko? That they call him the heavyweight Triple G?
Yeah, I didn't click it. Who we got?
Well, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Who this? This Ant or Cunningham? Who jumping in?
Chee.
Let's see what it says. Say guess. You got to unmute, champ. Hit that camera. Let us know what it is. And he's still unmuted. You got to hit that unmute button. Turn on the camera. I'm going to take him off till he ready. Awkwardness. This no business like show. There you go. Coach Ant showed up. You got the unmute off? Yes, he do. He ready.
So. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you, man. You looking good,
man.
champ. You looking good. Nice little office over there you got. I like the setup.
Thank you. What's going on, guys?
Oh man, happy to have you, man. Ready to get this thing going. I know it's gonna get juicy because, look, I went through your Instagram. I screen shared it to the live right now. People know what's going on. They know how you feel, and I think the first question that we need to ask is this your expert opinion as a coach, or are you emotionally invested because you're close to that Philadelphia area? You've dealt with the Hank Lundys and the Tevin Farmer, so you might have seen Danny come up. You might even work with Danny.
Honestly, man, you know, let's just be real. Danny Garcia is an excellent fighter. Okay, he lost 2 times. The 2 times that he lost, they were very, very close. You can argue that he even won against, you know what I'm saying, against Keith Thurman in a very close fight against Sean Porter. Then he went ahead and he fought. Then we went ahead and we saw Errol Spence fight Sean Porter, and he did not look very impressive against Sean Porter. As a matter of fact, the night of the fight, I thought Sean Porter might have won that fight. You know what I mean? That's just my honest opinion. I mean, I think
even with the knockdown,
the knockdown might have been what separated it. But when you really saw that fight, it didn't look like Errol Spence was a monster the way everybody perceived him to be as soon as, you know what I'm saying, he fought Sean. Now, granted, Sean Porter is Sean Porter, so I can't take nothing away from Sean Porter. But he didn't look really physically that big or anything special, let's just say. And then he had the terrible car accident, you know what I'm saying, unfortunately. You know what I mean? That set him back, you know, over a year. And now you're coming back to fight a guy like Danny Garcia. I mean, it's not an easy fight. And that's basically all I said on my post. My post was that I don't know why everybody's sleeping on Danny, because what happened was when I posted it, everybody's like, yo, Errol gonna smoke him. Errol gonna smoke him. Errol gonna stop him. Errol gonna do this, do that. It's like, yo, hold up. We talking about Danny Garcia, and we talking about a guy who hasn't fought in over a year, who just almost lost his life in a car accident, and he didn't look impressive in his last fight. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's before we jump the gun and say that he's going to steamroll Danny Garcia, you know what I mean? Let's not sleep on Danny. And that's basically all I said.
but I mean, that's what you know, started off saying that. Then it led to your third post, which was obviously a viral video of Earl that, you know, surfaced years ago of him in the Barclays Center giving an interview where some people thought maybe he indulged in some alcoholic beverages, but you said that those slurred words and confusion would come from Danny's left hook. So now you flat out picking Danny to win based off that third Danny Garcia post is what I'm interpreting.
Well, look, styles make fights. Styles make fights. And we know that Errol Spence has two ways he likes to fight. I mean, his last fight, when he fought Mikey Garcia, he actually showed that he could box, right? But he also has another way that he likes to fight, which he basically became very popular with, which was being very aggressive, coming straight forward, coming right at you. And if you come straight at a guy who's a counterpuncher like Danny Garcia, who can punch very well with the left hook, that can easily be the result of what happens if you get countered with that hook. I just think that what's happening is people are forgetting that Danny Garcia is a legitimate threat in the welterweight division. I believe that Danny Garcia can knock out Errol Spence with a left hook. I'm not really mistaken. I've seen Danny train in person. I've been to all his fights at the Barclays Center. I'm not personally invested with Danny Garcia. I know Danny, when we speak, is a salute, was good, Philadelphia, Puerto Rican, whatever, but I got no emotional ties or any investment with Danny Garcia personally. What I'm saying is he's a legitimate threat in the division. If you run into his left hook, he's going to knock you out. And Errol Spence, if he gets too brave and he runs up in there thinking that it's sweet, yes, he could end up talking a little bit funny the way he was talking that night when he might have consumed some alcoholic beverages. You know what I'm saying?
But
you know,
Coach,
Danny,
let me jump in with this last one. You could go, Coach. The boxing fans' answer to that is, well, what happened to the left hook with Porter? What happened to the left hook with Thurman?
I mean, they're two different kinds of fighters. You know what I'm saying? Well, Porter might have the style that's a little bit more similar to a Spence in a degree of an aggression degree, but he's a very difficult fight. I mean, you saw what he did to Errol. He didn't make Errol look good either. I mean, he got caught, but Errol looked, you know, regular. If that would have been the first time you saw Errol Spence fight, nobody would have considered him the monster that everybody considered him prior to that fight. Yeah, I would have been like, he's good, but I don't know how good. But before that fight, all of us, including myself, was like, damn, I don't even know if Terrence Crawford could beat this guy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, with that being said, I just think that with Danny Garcia fighting Keith Thurman is a different style. And when he fought Sean Porter is a different style. And styles make fights. Danny could lose to both of those guys and beat Errol Spence. And Errol Spence can go ahead and flip it back and beat both of those guys. It would mean absolutely nothing. It's just how boxing works.
Yeah, no, styles make fights. That's how the saying goes. How you doing, Coach Anthony? It's Alex.
What's up, brother?
What's up? I just wanted to ask, right, because we obviously know Earl's the bigger guy. He has the longer reach. Danny
not
being a
according
counter-
to Anthony. I read that post too. He said, "Why y'all keep saying Earl the bigger guy? Danny's a big dude. He hit like a Mack truck."
No. Not saying that Danny's small, but it's just just being honest. He is the bigger guy. You know what I'm saying? He's the bigger guy. He has the longer reach. And I don't know if BoxRec is always telling the truth, but it says 72-inch for Earl, and Danny has 68. So to say that, all that is, what does Danny have to do? Because he's usually a counter puncher, and Earl is going to have that reach advantage, and Earl does have a pretty good jab. So does Danny really have to do in order to get around that?
Well, he's gonna have to force him into a fight a little bit, and that can happen very easily, I think, with a guy like a guy like Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence fights with so much emotion, so much heart, and he believes in himself so much that he's willing to get into the fire. If I was coaching Errol Spence, I would tell him to box. I wouldn't advise him to go in there and do what he does to other guys. I'd say treat it kind of like the Mikey Garcia situation, and let's try to get Danny to come forward a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then we could pick him apart from the outside. I don't know how good Errol Spence is against a guy a little bit bigger, if he can maintain that for 12 rounds without getting lured into a fight. Now, if he gets lured into a fight, which when you have orthodox versus southpaw, right? It always it has to turn into a fight for it to really for Danny to really be effective. He's gonna have to turn that into a fight, regardless, because he's fighting a southpaw. If he tried, unless he had the reach and he was able to box from the outside, or if he was a slippery guy, that's a different story. But a guy like Danny has to turn that into a fight. So I just think that you lure him into a fight and you land that big shot. And I think that if Danny lands that big shot, it could be a big surprise to the boxing world. You know what I'm saying? If he knocks him out. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. See, it would be a surprise to the boxing world. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd say, well, I told y'all. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But I am not by any means saying that Errol Spence ain't the real deal, the truth. I believe he's the truth. I believe that he was the truth leading up to the fight. But all I'm saying is he's coming off of a so-so victory. And he's also coming off of a terrible car accident. I'm glad he's alive. But how's his body going to respond to those punches after a layoff like this and an accident like that?
Coach, so I was asking Alex, obviously, because he's fought, and when I spar, I find it super difficult to use a left hook. Like, my left hand as an orthodox fighter is busy, pawing at the southpaw so that he don't hook me. So how is it that you see Danny being effective with the left hook? Not that I don't believe you. I just want to learn.
I think that the left hook is an underrated tool against the southpaw. I think everybody talks about the straight cross, you know what I'm saying, being the most dominant weapon. But honestly, when you're boxing the opposite stance, all punches apply. The jab, the cross, and the hook. I know guys that can circle to their left and utilize their jab against the southpaw very well. They keep their foot outside that foot. They pop that jab, they check hook right off of that. If you box a southpaw, one of their main weapons is a check hook. When you go against a southpaw, you throw a jab, they love to check hook and spin out to the right. Anything a southpaw does to us, we could do to them. So and then also Danny likes to throw that right hand to the body, left hook to the head. You saw how he knocked out Rod Salka. That's another effective combination against a southpaw. And if Errol Spence comes in close and tries to work the body, because we know he has a good body attack, he's going to be right there for the left hook. It's not going to be hard to find him at all. So the left hook is a very effective punch. It's just, when do you throw it? How are the bodies positioned before you throw it? All punches get applied against either stance. It's just about positioning and timing.
Crazy you said that right now. First thing I thought about was Errol Spence versus Emmanuel Lardy. And Lardy actually stunned him with that punch. He went to the body and then he went up top. He was a southpaw, but he did it anyway. That's gonna be effective.
But when you brought up Salka, Danny had to hit Salka with the same combination. And listen, I'm a Danny fan. I just don't sound like it. I know I don't sound like it, but it's
Hey,
because
the same thing with me and Errol Spence. I'm an Errol Spence fan, even though right now I don't sound like it. I just want to
exactly.
correct
It's
that too.
just that Danny as a welterweight, can I see him win? Yes, but when you say knockout, I'm like, well, damn, why he ain't knock out certain other welterweights? And then you think of the Salka, that same combination, because I seen you posted it. He had to hit him with the shit 3 times before he went down. He literally hit him with it 3 consecutive times, like boom, 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 boom. And then the last one, bang, bang, and my man finally went down.
But when that last one landed,
But you think Earl gonna wait there?
but when that last one landed, we was all in fear for Rod Salka's life. You dig what I'm saying?
Oh,
and
absolutely.
my thing is Danny walks around easily 180, 190 pounds. That's why when I said, why do y'all keep saying he's a smaller person? He might be the shorter person. He might have the shorter reach, but he's just as, big pause when you look at his body frame. You know what I'm saying? He is not by any means smaller. He just might be a little shorter and might have a little disadvantage in reach, but we can make up for that because, you know what I'm saying, that, all it takes is for me to take away your reach by luring you in or getting close, one or the other, you know what I mean? And like I said, Errol is going to allow that fight to go to the inside. I'm almost 100% sure that fight ends up being a firefight at some point.
I mean,
my man frozen over there at my screen. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if he's coming back, man. Probably having some inner problems, but we'll continue it. Don't worry about it. Errol Spence Jr. coming back. My main concern, Coach Anthony, was not even all that. I'm considering it that Earl's ready. That I believe that nobody in his family or in his camp would let him go into a fight knowing that he's really not 100% just for the sake of money. So I'm counting him to be 100%, right? My main concern was him not being able to spar at the correct moment in a boxer's camp, and it's going to be enough time for him to get prepared and get his timing back, like you said, because those are one of the concerns after the post accident is his timing back. I was more concerned more than anything with anything cerebral, because anything not firing off the right way, reaction time. So, but just the love that I believe that he has in his camp wouldn't allow him just to go risk his life just for money. So I'm running with that. And what do you think, man? Is it enough time for him to spar? Is it a concern?
I mean, I don't know how long he's been out of the injury, and if he's really a dedicated athlete, he's been training, in my opinion. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not part of that team. I don't know how they do things, but I think it's enough time because the fight's in November, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has more than enough time. You know what I'm saying? As long as he didn't fall off the wagon too far. You know what I mean? He's a natural fighter. You know what I mean? The guy could fight his ass off. But it also depends which Danny shows up to. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like Danny over the years, you know what I mean, has shown a little bit of lack of
dedication.
I don't know about dedication, but like I don't know if he's as hungry as he was when he fought Amir Khan. Let's just say, you know what I'm saying? I feel like maybe he's made some money and maybe now, you know what I'm saying? He still loves it, but I don't know how. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my only question with Danny Garcia. Now, if he brings real fire, maybe he's got something to prove now. Maybe he's like, you know what? Y'all been sleeping on me. You know what I'm saying? And he brings something to prove. We got a hell of a fight, man. I'm telling you, I don't think that Danny Garcia is somebody to take lightly for any fighter in the welterweight division. That includes if he was to rematch the 2 guys who beat him. That includes a Manny Pacquiao. That includes all them guys. Danny's a live dog in that division.
Coach, so I'm going to say the rumor, but this is coming out of Earl's mouth when he did the All the Smoke podcast or whatever it is with the basketball dudes. He said that he hadn't sparred yet because he didn't get his permanent teeth put in, that he just got the posts right now. So he ain't going to start sparring until September.
Who's that now?
Errol Spence.
Mm.
So when I bring this up to other coaches and industry people, they say, oh, he could just be saying that as a throwaway to fool people. and really he is sparring. Do you believe he is sparring if he ain't got his permanent teeth and he got to wait to get teeth and all this stuff? Like, don't you got to, obviously you got to use the mouthpiece. So, like, if you ain't got no teeth, can you still bite down? Or is it if you only missing a few, you can still bite down? Like, what's going on in that mouth?
Yeah. yeah. So, my bad. It's a habit. So, I don't know, man. I've never dealt with a fighter who's had no teeth. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know. Who knows, man? You know what I mean? One thing I do know is that fighters don't want to start.
But do you believe the information is real? Like, do you believe he said that because it's true, or he said that to like lead us on and have us believing he ain't working?
He doesn't seem like a guy that I feel would need to lie about his situation, but that is a tactic that I can see being used by a camp. But I wouldn't expect them guys to be sparring, any real serious sparring now anyway. I just think that it's a bit soon. I think that right now you get your body back into shape. You start working on your strength and conditioning. You start working on your fundamentals. And then, leading up to the fight, you start to pick up the sparring because you don't want to leave it all your sparring in the gym either. So I don't believe that he's sparring yet. I don't think that Danny Garcia is sparring yet. I think them guys are just working themselves back into shape. You know what I'm saying? Getting their body, moving again. Because, we've been quarantined. We've been chilling. Like, we don't know what the hell this, pandemic, what was going on 2-3 months ago. I think we were all in the same place where we were kind of just like, let's fall back. Let's make sure this thing, don't kill us. So I'm sure they're just trying to get their their engine revved up right now. They're not worried about sparring just yet, regardless if he had teeth or not. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And that makes sense. I didn't even think about it. Like, you really don't need to spar so early. But he did mention in that podcast that he's already lost like 20 pounds and he's been getting the weight down. He's been treating the lockdown kind of as a small training camp. But we do got a few questions from the people before we let you go. The first one's coming from Ruin the 504. He says, in your opinion, what is the most undertaught aspect of boxing?
The mental preparation part. I think that, everybody wants to talk about skills and drills, but, there's a big mental component that comes from boxing that needs to be taught to fighters, how to handle adversity, how to handle, crowds that aren't going to be in your favor, how to handle the emotional aspect of it, how to deal with things when you're in the gym, injuries, how to deal with, shortcomings in fights. So I think that the mental, and a lot of fighters just learn mental through experience, but I think if there was a component of training for fighters for the mental, it would help better prepare them for those things that may happen because, those things will happen at some point. And if you're not mentally prepared, you could break.
Yeah, I always say, man, that's people really, really do forget how important it is to prepare mentally, man. And I think that boxing coaches play also more of a life coach. Wouldn't you agree, Anthony?
Yeah, I think especially when you build that relationship with a fighter, you know what I mean? Like when you really start to have that click, it just becomes like a, older brother or
big brother. Yeah, you're really invested. You're really invested in it.
Once you're invested, that's it. You want to see the best for that person in and out the ring. Like all my amateurs that I work with amateurs right now. I could care less if they ever went pro, but I really care about them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it becomes a thing where you just want to guide them to make the right decisions.
How many years you got doing this, Coach? Short answer.
I've been coaching for 10 and involved with boxing for 20.
If a kid walked into your gym, 308 pounds, 6'6", American, never fought, just played high school and like 1-2 semesters of football, would you be excited because he's hungry to learn and says he wants to box? Or do you just, how do you handle that situation?
When I see a person come in 308 pounds.
6'6", though.
6'6", okay. That's a different story.
20 years old.
Yeah, I'm excited for sure. My goal is he dedicated? If he's dedicated, I'm excited. No doubt about it. But he has to be dedicated, so I would have to see that through his training.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always tell them this. You know, kids come in excited, and there's plenty of times kids come in excited, but you know, a lot of them as excited as they come in, they leave real quickly because they soon find out it's not for them. So, me, you know, I coach too, and I like to get a feel for the kid, you know, or the individual, and see where even if we're gonna click, because sometimes people just don't click. You know, you might be different styles of coaching, you might not click with a certain style of coaching, and so on and so on. So it's really, like I said, man, a lot is not said about the things that a coach has to have in mind and do and think about before he even starts to consider, you know, full-time training to an individual.
Listen, 308 pounds, 6'6", 20 years old. I said, whoa, I seen a canvas, man. That's what I see.
Yeah, bring
I
him
see a
down.
As long as the dedication is there, man,
Exactly.
you could slow roll that dude. By 28, he'll be a monster. You know, a
Yeah,
monster.
I agree. That's definitely what trainers are looking for. They're looking for a person who can physically do, you know, I mean, you know, have attributes that will help enhance what we're teaching. But it all comes down to dedication at the end of the day. I had guys that I overlooked because they weren't physically, you know, they didn't physically look the part, and they ended up being the hardest workers in the gym. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this game is like a looks are deceiving type thing. You can't overlook anybody, and you can't overpraise anybody just because of their physical attributes.
For sure. We got the next one is from Killer Kells in Cali says, how is it that you can convince us that Danny's left hook is going to do to Spence what it couldn't do to Thurman or Porter?
Well, if he lands it multiple times throughout the night, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's not just one hook. It's if he gets hit repeatedly with that hook. And if he gets, or it could be one hook. I just think that if Spence gets overconfident and he tries to go in there and fight with Danny, yes, Danny can knock him out. You know what I mean? But I also feel that Spence has all the attributes and the tools to beat Danny also. So it's a pick 'em fight. You know what I mean? It can go either way.
Kenny says, do you believe Danny can make 140 again?
I don't think so. I mean, depending on how much money's on the table, I'm sure he can make it work. But I don't think that that's something that he's looking to do. And I don't think that he would probably go back that route. I doubt it.
Dr. Mofongo Long Island says, please give us your assessment of Wilder Fury 2, inclusive of controversy or not, depending on whether you buy into any of what's alleged. And if you were Deontay Wilder's head trainer, what would your approach be heading into the third fight? Appreciate your insight. Love your videos. Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate the love and support. Look, man, I like Deontay Wilder, but you know, I just think that Tyson Fury, if I'm gonna be honest, is just a better fighter, better boxer, just bigger person. I just think that it's an uphill battle for Deontay Wilder. I thought that he was losing the first fight. I thought, that matter of fact, I thought he lost the first fight with the knockdowns. So, and then the second fight, we saw what happened. So I just think for Deontay Wilder, this is a very difficult fight for him. If I was coaching Deontay Wilder, you know, there's so many things that need to get worked on with Deontay Wilder. I just don't know at this stage of this career that he can improve that much because he's been doing it successfully for so long with what he has. But the goal would obviously be, we got to land that right hand, baby, because we already saw what happened when he landed it. So the goal would be different ways to land that right hand, different ways. We would work on different approaches, different things that we can do to land that right hand. You know what I mean? And that would probably be the whole game plan, honestly. You know, I wouldn't try to box Tyson or run up on Tyson. It'd be just trying to land that right hand, you know?
The Earthquake in Brooklyn says, hey, Coach, thanks for coming on the show. Over the years, it seems Danny and or his team have disregarded his weakness, i.e. slow feet, low punch output, no cutting off for the ring, in favor of his strengths, timing, counterpunching, one-shot power. I believe his best performance was against Matisse, where he moved and punched. Will we see that version against Spence? Salute, 100 emoji.
Salute. I think that if Errol Spence presses Danny, then we can see that. See, the reason he was able to do that against Matisse, because Matisse was a come forward guy, so it brought that style out of Danny. I think that Danny knows how to box pretty well. He's a pretty successful amateur boxer. I think that he knows how to box. I just think that, I think that Danny can do those things, and you just have to bring him out in Danny. You know what I'm saying? I think that Danny is capable of those things, but they have to get brought out in Danny. And I agree. I think that there's some things that can be improved with Danny that I believe he really has the capability to do. I'd love to work with Danny if I had the chance. You know what I'm saying? But, it's like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's the problem with success. You know what I mean? I think Teddy Atlas said it once. He said, the worst thing you could do is knock a guy down in the first round with a punch, because then you think you're going to get the knockdown every time. It's kind of the same thing when you're winning fights a certain way. You just get into a mode where you keep doing the same thing because it's working, and you don't work on your flaws. And then next thing you know, you're at the world championship level when it's too late. You know what I mean?
All right. We have James Valdez from San Antonio, Texas. Angel and Danny make a great father-son team. We have another set of father-son teams coming against each other in Team Loma versus Team Teofimo. Who do you got winning that fight, and why, if and when that fight happens?
And look, man, if I had to bet the house, I'm betting with Loma. I just think that he's... I just think that he...
Yo, as a man that's coming in here talking about knockout from Danny, who hasn't knocked out a welterweight in ages, you ain't picking Tio by knockout? After Linares put him down and Pedraza made him look like a pepperoni face? Oh, man. Come on, coach. Let me down right now. I'm a Loma hater, though. They got me as a resident Loma hater. I picked Salido to beat him, so I just feel like I should pick him against him every time since then.
I mean, look, Lomachenko, man, he's a proven guy. I just think that Lopez has more to prove. And now, from what I'm seeing, there's a money dispute. This is his big opportunity. Like, if you really want to go out there, take whatever they putting on the table, go ahead, knock this guy out with your knockout.
No way.
They're not giving him whatever. They're offering him good money.
Listen, nah. Hold on. Don't even help. Listen, you work with Tevin. So we gonna put it.
I don't want to talk about his money.
I don't want you to talk about his money, but we got to put him in that situation. If Tevin was still the champ and he was offered a unification with more than 3 belts, how is he gonna take what Devin Haney got for a mandatory?
How many belts does Teofimo Lopez have?
Teofimo got 1.
He got 1. Okay,
but it's a unification. It's a unification because Vasil got like 3. Like, if it's your first title shot, yeah, you take short money like Gervonta Davis did with Pedraza. But now you're a champ and you about to unify. When do you make money? You just keep taking short money? I don't know, champ.
I mean, listen. There's a give or take here. There's a give or take here. I see what you're saying, and I agree with you.
1.2, coach. It's only 1.2 though.
Like, yeah, listen. But if you know you could beat somebody, and they're Lomachenko, you go and you beat that guy. Because guess what? After that, there's no denying you.
Yo.
You see what I'm saying? There's no denying you after that.
Eddie,
if you don't fight him, then Lomachenko goes ahead and he does something else. There's always gonna be that hanging over your head. So it's a give or take in that situation.
Lomachenko's old, coach.
They put the money on the table. You never fought Loma. Now Loma retired.
So what? That happened with Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis. And listen, Loma the one old. Tio got his whole life ahead of him. And we talking about 1.2 million for the biggest fight of your life.
He's been falling out Loma for the longest, though.
And they trying to slave him with 1.2. Devin Haney made $1 million to do a mandatory. A mandatory.
No, but I
Jesse Vargas, listen to this. Listen to this. Jesse got 1.8.
Hold on, Ness. Let me ask you a question. If I say, yo, Ness, I fuck you up now. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll beat your ass or whatever. And then you like, yo, Aunt, come to my boxing tournament on Tuesday. And I'm like, well, hold on, Tuesday don't work for me. Like, dog, I've been calling you out for the longest. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna be calling somebody out for the longest? And now when the presents itself, you know what, bro?
Yeah, because just because I called you out, don't mean I'm gonna take a crazy offer.
Yeah, I think that we gotta just remember, because we gotta understand that it is a boxing business too, and I'm pretty sure, and Coach Ant, I'm pretty sure, bro, you know it. You know these guys will fight each other. If it was just like, yo, let's go now, they're gonna fight each other. But they gotta consider all the monies and the business and everything else that's involved with boxing. Just, you know, besides just the fighting aspect of it, right? So when we say that 1.2 million ain't enough, is because we know that taxes and training fees and managerial fees and promoters.
I'm factoring in Jesse Vargas getting 1.8 to fight Thomas Delorme, but I'm gonna fight Vasil. I'm factoring in the fact that Eddie Hearn just released the interview and he laughing, saying, well, Luke Campbell got more than that to fight Vasil as a mandatory. Like, I'm not fighting you then. Everybody else getting paid more than you. I got an actual belt. They ain't bring nothing and made more than me. I got a belt, man, and I got a fan base. I'm good.
Who has Teofimo? And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just not a big follower of Teofimo Lopez. I know he's from the city, and I know he's a good fighter. Who has he fought?
Richard Comey. Stone Cold knocked him out. Proven champ. Adorable dude. Adorable dude that people question whether or not Robert Easter even beat him.
Okay, besides him.
That's all you need when you only doing it in 13 fights, champ.
Okay. All right. So
when you cutting the line,
I just think that it might be. I think this fight might be. Listen, everything you guys are saying are absolutely right, because, like he said, with the 1.2 and everything like that, you know what I mean. It does cut down into your bread, because I know, because Eddie Chambers fought. I think he fought for 1.2 against Vladimir Klitschko, and he walked away with like 300 grand or something.
Yeah.
You know, what I'm saying?
That's
I already
horrible.
know. So I already know that that's bad. I think that it might be a little bit premature for Teofimo. I just feel, look, if I'm from the area and I don't know everything about Teofimo Lopez, I can only imagine what the rest of the world knows about Teofimo Lopez. So this fight might just is in the oven, but they might be pulling it out a little too soon. So if he knows his worth and he knows that that's not enough, then you know what? Stay in that oven. Cook a little, marinate a little bit more, and just wait. You know what I'm saying? Because look, when you asked me the question initially, you asked me who do I think is the better fighter. I just think that right now, Vasily Lomachenko is a little bit more seasoned, more proven. And I just don't know enough about Teofimo in those deep waters yet to say he can beat a guy like Teofimo. I mean, Vasily Lomachenko pretty much beat Gary Russell easily. And I think Gary Russell's a fantastic fighter.
Ain't you from that area? Where exactly you at? You in Jersey or you in Philly?
I'm in the South Jersey part of basically
Cherry Hill. You in Cherry Hill?
Philadelphia area.
By Cherry Hill and all that down there.
Yep.
So the Gary Russell, let's dive into that, because I personally interviewed Russell. He talked about he was in a sauna. So he takes away from that Lomachenko fight, you know, and if you were invested in Russell and watched him as an 8-rounder on HBO, you might tend to believe, like, yeah, maybe Gary did, for the biggest fight of his career, do the wrong thing and end up going in a sauna trying to, you know, be 100% and took something away. Do you buy the sauna story, or you just think he was outclassed?
I mean, there might be some truth to it. There's always things that fighters go through that nobody talks about. And, you know, at the end of the day, the fans are always going to be like, yeah, right. Why you ain't say it before the fight? I know fighters that went into fights with a fever. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there could be some truth to that. But we know Gary Russell as a successful fighter doing what he always did. I don't know why he would have changed anything when he was so successful. I could understand you're fighting a big guy, but you're a gold medalist. You're just as accomplished as him, and you're a good fighter. Why are we changing up everything all of a sudden? Why are we trying to reinvent the wheel? So my thing is, I think he knew what he was getting into when he fought the fight. He made decisions that were poor in camp. That's on him. he didn't look good in that fight against Vasily Lomachenko. So that to me showed me how good Vasily Lomachenko is. And I just think that people don't want to give him the credit for a few reasons. But at the end of the day,
I mean, coach, you a coach, you got to factor in that was 126 too. Like he's in a different division now. Like, you know, you talking about fighting dudes like Devin Haney that walk around maybe 150 and getting down to 135. Teofimo also big, strong dude. Vasil's a 30-something-year-old dude moving up in weight. You understand? We talking about young bloods starving to get down there to beat you up, and he moved up 2 divisions. Now he had 35. He could get knocked out in this fight. In my opinion, did you see what Pedraza did?
Yo, skills pay the bills.
So why he getting touched up by mediocre people?
He's been touched
by mediocre people.
He's never. I mean, but he never really been in a situation where you felt other than a Salido, right? Salido's a hell of a fight.
Linares put him down. Linares. What's Linares' biggest win, coach?
Yeah,
exactly.
But how did most of the fight go?
With Linares being a little bit successful. I mean, obviously, you know, Lomachenko took over. He always frustrates. He's better on his feet. You know, he avoids a lot of shots.
I'm getting. Do you think that Lomachenko's overrated?
Absolutely, bruh. Think about that resume. Nicholas Walters. They went and found him in Jamaica after a year off almost. Like, nah, come on, come back. Move up in weight, come back, and let's use your name. You know, Jason Sosa, you know Sosa. He got like 15 amateur fights. Yeah, he's a overachiever. He's a great guy, but like, he don't got the pedigree.
I don't think Sosa
he don't got the pedigree of a two-time Olympic medalist.
He's trained at the same camp as Tevin Farmer for a long time.
Yeah,
he had 3.
But he don't got the pedigree of a Lomachenko. He don't got 3 gold medals. What about Rigo? Had to move up 2 weight classes.
Before the Rigo fight, I'm pretty sure you picked Rigo.
I picked Rigo. I picked Rigo.
Everybody was picking Rigo.
I picked Rigo.
All of a sudden, he's the little guy.
But he was.
He was always the little guy.
But he was.
But that's not what you were saying leading up to that fight.
No, I specifically was saying I'm picking Rigo even though he's smaller. But, you know, I know what I'm getting into. But, bruh, to me,
I didn't think he was going to do that to Rigo.
I just think Top Rank are excellent matchmakers. They are excellent matchmakers. Like, bruh, come on. Pedraza? Look at how Pedraza's the one really opened up my eyes. But whatever, we getting away with it. I got so many other questions.
I know people who are pretty big in the sport who's been to camp with Lomachenko and sparred Lomachenko.
No,
guys
Shakur.
Shakur
told us
right
he's
now.
great.
They all say the same thing, man. That guy's amazing. We've seen him, you know what I'm saying, perform. We've seen him beat some big names. He's got 300 plus amateur fights. I mean, he came in his 3rd world title fight, won the title. Or 2nd or whatever it was.
Sparring is different, man. You got winning headgear, winning gloves protecting you. Take that off and Linares dropped you. So get in there with Teofimo, he knocking you out. Get in there with young Devin Haney. Yo, these kids they're 10 years younger. Like, you got to see that disadvantage in the sparring in the gym, at least in sparring. Like, if I'm 40 and I get in there with a 30-year-old, he gonna put something on me. He just younger than me.
Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman.
I mean, look, Keith. You know, Keith had 2 years of injuries. He was chilling. He was chilling in Nepalese or whatever.
Floyd Mayweather versus the world. When you're the best, bro. It don't even matter.
Listen, Floyd did the A-side thing. Look at what he did to Marquez after coming off of 2 years off. Brought him up. You know, just blew the weight, gave him money for the weight. Like, people are strategic. Daniel Jacobs blew the weight. Look, this is boxing, but it's a business, man, and you got to be strategic. Why would Vasil duck Devin Haney then? Why you giving up your belt? So now you about to fight Tio, but it can't be for undisputed because you gave up a belt. You franchise. I was at the convention, coach. Like, he literally petitioned to be franchised. Canelo was bestowed that title. He's so big, they're like, yo, we got to get it popping with someone who could endorse it. Let's go to the Michael Jordan of boxing, Canelo. Boom. You the franchise. Now people know what franchise is. Vasil, like, yo, let's go to Mexico, or his team, rather. Not him. He's a fighter. Let's go to Mexico and petition. Why we going to fight that young dude, Devin Haney? He ain't fought nobody. Why we want to fight him? He's a natural 135-pounder. Sucking down. There's 100 million gym stories about how good this kid is in sparring. Nah, we don't need that smoke. Devin!
Oh no, Devin's the real deal, no doubt about it.
So then why Vasil didn't fight him? Why he vacated his belt?
I mean, probably for the same reason. You know what I'm saying? Your man don't want to fight Lomachenko, right? He's probably like, I'm gonna fight a tough fight like this for small bread, like. You know what I'm saying? He's Vasily Lomachenko. He has so much more to lose than a guy like Devin Haney. Devin Haney got his whole career. He can say he fought him early like Canelo when he fought Floyd. So I can see why he'd move away from
But he was his mandatory. Teofimo is negotiating. You see the difference here?
Yeah, this is where the boxing business gets into play. Yeah. I see what you're saying. This is where the boxing business gets into play and everything is business. But when we just eliminate the business, let's eliminate the business and talk about just skill. And who do you betting the house on Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko? Let's just put the bread up. No business involved.
No, I'm not betting the house, but I am picking Teo, and I'm confident.
Are you picking Teo because you're close to him? Because I could tell.
No, I'm not.
I don't gamble. I don't gamble, but I'm picking Teofimo Lopez. I got 100 push-up on demand bet with him.
He the bigger man.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you believe Teofimo Lopez is gonna win, or you just feel because?
No, I really do. I
don't believe it.
And I'm Honduran, Coach Anthony. That's my paisan. So I know I have.
So he's telling you he's biased. That's what he's saying.
No. I'm telling you that I've been on Teo since a long time ago.
I wonder if I'm biased for Danny Garcia because he's Puerto Rican and from Philly. I wonder.
I'm telling you, yo. But listen, I don't have a relationship with Teo. He's been on here a few times. We've interviewed him and all that stuff, but
from what I've seen of, look, I don't want to make it seem like I don't think he's the real deal. I just think that Lomachenko's more established. You know what I mean? So if I'm gonna put the money up, it's like betting on stock. I'm gonna bet on the stock that I know.
So let's do this.
Bet on stock I don't know like that. You dig what I'm saying? I don't know Teofimo enough yet.
This the new
Let
stock.
me ask you
Coach
these
Anthony.
questions.
This that new stock that's coming through right now. That's that stock that you gotta invest in now and you cash out later, champ.
Yo, let me ask you this. I mean, I guess this is probably a hard question to answer in your position, but like, do you perceive? I'll word it nicely better. Do you perceive Teofimo to have more upside than a Pedraza and a Linares?
What do you mean upside? Give me
I'm trying to be nice here, man. I don't want to say, do you think that he's better than them, but do you think that he's better than them?
Oh, absolutely. From what I've seen, skill-wise.
So that's how I'm banking it. Like those dudes had success.
I haven't seen him tested though. I haven't seen him really tested though. You dig what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I don't know if he has been tested, but I haven't personally seen him tested. So, but skill-wise, I think he has the better tools. I think I've seen him do better things.
And maybe I'm assessing things poorly, but I'm going off that. It's like, wait, Pedraza's not Teofimo. Linares is not Teofimo. Gary Russell may be on the skill level or more skilled than Teofimo, but he was small. Like, and that's what I'm saying. We got to remember that Loma started at 22 or 26. He keep coming up to these other dudes that are 10 years younger than him and much bigger than him. But let's move on. We got stuck on that. We got a few more questions for you. I'm sorry to keep you long. Info Joe in California says, what's up, coach? What do you think about the sparring video leaked? Oh, no. I guess he's not being specific. I thought he was going to go straight into the Javante thing. It got me excited. He said, what's up, coach? What do you think about sparring videos being leaked? If they're agreed upon by both fighters, that's cool. I know back in the day, what happens in the gym stays in the gym. So what's your stance?
I mean, I'm old school that way. I think if you got my word, you got my bond. You know what I'm saying? So if you go ahead and you guys have a verbal agreement and then you break that agreement, that's kind of a show on character. So I'm not cool with it. But, you know, with social media being such a influence in our lives right now. You know, right away people want to take any little success and show it to the world. So I understand the emotional side of it, but at the same time, it's like, bro, we had the conversation, dog. Like, I don't need everything to be in writing for our contract to stand. You know what I'm saying? I'm old school like that. So if I say something, I'm sticking with it. So if you break that, that's kind of, foul play, in my opinion.
Next one is from Big Casual. He says, "What up, Coach? Do you think that Danny Garcia can win a belt at 54?"
I don't know. I think 54 is a little big for Danny. I think 47 is a good weight for Danny. I think Danny, if he's gonna win another belt, it'll be at 47. Yeah, I don't really see Danny being super successful at 54. I think he should stay at 47. You know what I mean?
All right, the next one's coming in from King Amin of Essex. That's here in Newark, New Jersey. Said, "What's up, Coach? You got Boots, Ray Robinson, Danny Garcia, Isaiah Wise, Tevin Farmer, J-Rock, and many others. Who's the best fighter from Philly and why?"
Well, I mean, besides my man Tevin Farmer, I'm going to say Tevin Farmer, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm biased though, but then of course we got Boots, man, seems to be like the best thing since sliced bread. You know what I'm saying? He just like the kid is just amazing, man. Everything I see him do is like, I can't wait to see him fight some top competition, man. I just, and taking nothing away from them other guys, but Boots is something different, man. He's special. You know what I mean? I just don't know. I just can't wait to see him actually fight somebody at that high level. I think he's ready right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a question a lot of us are asking. Is he ready now? And I mean, our audience definitely lets us know that they want him in there with a top level guy. The next one's coming in from Scott, the Christian fight fan. Says, "What's up, Coach? God bless. I just want to say I really enjoy your instructional boxing YouTube videos. Keep up the great work. What is next for my guy, Tevin Farmer?"
Well, thank you for all of that. But Tevin Farmer just started training again. So right now he's just waiting for, some business things on his end to square away. Hopefully the Jojo Diaz thing, comes into play. That's really what the goal is. The goal is he wants Jojo Diaz. That's all we talk about. He's, there was some outside things that happened before the fight, and that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. I'm not going to speak Tevin's business because I know he wants to come out and talk about it, but fighters constantly go into fights with things that are bothering them, whether it's an injury, whether it's some personal stuff, whatever, and they can't talk about it leading up to the fight. You have to, a lot of times it comes out after the fight, and it always sounds like an excuse. And Tevin made it very big that he didn't want to sound like he was making excuses against Jojo Diaz. So he just wants the rematch. That's all he wants. So he can go ahead and handle it that way. And if he wins the rematch, then we all know what happened that night. And if he doesn't, hey man, it is what it is. I think Jojo Diaz is a great fighter, man. I think that he was a little bit underrated going into the fight as well. So I just think that Tevin needs to take him serious, and Tevin can win, but we got to give credit to Jojo also because Jojo could fight.
All right, next one's coming in from George in Dallas, Fort Worth. He says, "If Danny knocks Spence out, will he get credit, or will fans say Earl wasn't the same fighter after the crash?"
Well, that's the sad part about this fight. I can see that happening. I can see Danny winning, and people saying, "Well, if this would have been 2 years ago, this, that, and the other." But hey, man, it is what it is. That's boxing. No matter what you do in boxing, somebody gonna criticize you. You know what I'm saying? So you just might as well get used to that early in your career, and you'll be all right. And I think Danny's used to being criticized. I mean, I remember when Danny used to have the cherries going down his page every single post for like 30, 40 posts. So you know what I'm saying? I think Danny's kind of used to that. So I just think it's not a big deal either way.
Coach, man, if you can, please give out your social media. We do appreciate you. Hate to cut you, but we did run over on Steve Cunningham. I'm sure that's one of your guys as well, being around in that area. But, yeah, we were scheduled to have him on next, and we kind of ran over. We do want to thank you, obviously, and we would love to get you back on, man. It was fun.
Man, I have a lot of fun coming on here. I have a lot of fun coming on here talking with you guys, man. You can follow me on Instagram at Coach Anthony. And my YouTube channel is Coach Anthony Boxing. I'm constantly giving guys free techniques and tips on, how to improve your boxing skills. And I have a website, CoachAnthonyBoxing.com, where I sell premium digital downloads where I specifically break down different things about boxing. So if you're interested in learning that, check out the website. And I thank you guys so much for your love and support.
All right. Well, champ, thanks again. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Anthony. And we're going to be getting Steve Cunningham here in a few minutes. Let me cut out to the back and let him know we're ready. We are ready, champ.
Champ. Yeah, there you go. Coach Anthony giving you a little bit of insight from a coach's perspective. It's always good to have a coach on, man, and
we
give us those insights.
We late on Steve, bro. We ran over about
Call you
15
lady.
minutes.
Call you lady, champ.
Right, and he was up early with me running tests and everything. So, hope he ain't tight right now.
You got yeah, man. Look, and again, man, this is the question that's really just it's just a question of whether he's ready or not. And Earl, it was never a question whether Danny was going to be a tough out fight. It was always going to be a tough fight. Earl, again, he's gonna look. We're gonna know from the first 3 rounds, what kind of fight we're gonna have, and I expect to have a real good fight all the way through. Anything that's stuck in your mind, Ness, with what Coach Anthony was saying? I know you had questions about the southpaw and orthodox fighter, hitting each other and stuff like that, but he made a good point. They're both exposed to the same things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their power hands and all that
people
stuff.
say that all the time. Oh, you can do what the southpaw does to you, but I don't believe that. That's just like they want you to believe that in your mind, but when you in the ring, it's totally different, man. The positioning is different, the spacing is different, and you can't do it. I'm not saying you can't, but I'm saying you can't.
Nah, you know what it is though. I understand where you're coming from because it's like you ever switch up to. I remember back in the day when you first started too, and you started with your right hand out, and when you have your right hand out, that right hook comes out just a lot cleaner, a lot faster, a lot stronger. So I can see how the right hook can be used against an orthodox fighter because now you have a lead hand in the front, And usually when you're fighting orthodox, I mean, yeah, you're good with the left hook, but it's still not your power hand or your lead hand, or not the lead hand because obviously it is the lead hand once you're orthodox, but it's not your dominant hand. And when you have the dominant hand in the front, you can play with it a little better, I guess. But I see how that could be a problem going hook for hook with a southpaw. His hook could be a little faster, a little stronger. And you would have to have, something to counter that. And I mentioned that the hook to the liver would be pretty good for Danny. But, that when Coach Anthony mentioned, the right hand to the body and then coming up left, what Danny does and when he did the Rod Salka, I caught it like a flashback of when Errol Spence was fighting Emmanuel Lardy. If you guys go back in his career, earlier in his career, Earl fought this guy and, the guy was compact, strong. And he was a southpaw too, though. And I remember that he threw a body shot and then he went up top with a hook and he clipped Earl pretty good. Obviously, Earl, gained his composure and won that fight. But the combination worked. So I can see where, Danny's team is going to be preparing to do certain things. And just like Earl's going to be preparing as well. So, it's going to be a good fight, man. I'm really, really not trying to put any cloud over this fight in any way. Again, I strongly believe that Earl's people and everybody else won't just let him go fight for money and that he's really, really okay. And you heard it from Coach Anthony. He should have enough time. He should have enough time in sparring. Usually you start, turning up sparring towards the end of the camp too. So looks like so far, in my opinion, it's going to be a good competitive fight. Of course, I can't erase the question mark from the crash out of the way totally, but I feel that 80-90%, he's well, not 80-90, I guess 100% he wouldn't be lying about how okay he is. We never had the dentist on us, to tell us how and when can you take a punch after getting those posts put in. So and until we get that exact information, I guess we won't know if he's totally ready to get punched in the face. I mean,
all right, looks like he's gonna be joining right now. Wait, it just said he's unavailable, but I added him, so hopefully.
Call you unavailable. My man Steve coming on, man. Much respect, much respect.
He's another Philly guy too, so it's a Philly special here.
Yeah, got the Philly special.
Talking about, where's Mario? He just cut out.
I think he got hit with a monsoon or something.
He ducked us. Let me smoke. I was scared to smoke in front of Ant.
He was like, no. Nah, you know what though?
Yo, why that soundbite woke my dog up? She looking for that. Chill, champ.
Yeah, she about to get at you. Chill.
That shit woke her right up.
Hey, what's up, man? Sorry about all this technical difficulty.
Steve, what up, champ? Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for taking out the time to come on the program, man. We appreciate it. Just wanted to talk some boxing. We had Coach Anthony on. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's in that Cherry Hill, Philadelphia area as well. Yeah. So we kind of based this show around him and his prediction of the Danny Garcia Errol Spence fight. And obviously, I follow you on Instagram, so you always have exciting things to discuss. And you're a Philadelphia guy. And a two-time IBF cruiserweight champ. So I wanted to get your prediction on that fight and just ask some questions from a boxer standpoint. Like I was talking to Anthony, and I said, how is it that Danny's gonna have this success with the left hook when Earl is a southpaw, and I find it very difficult to use the left hook with a southpaw fighter because you're kind of busy tapping that southpaw's jab, like you're pawing each other, jockeying for position. So yeah, we just wanted to get you on as an expert, champ.
All right. When it comes to fighting the southpaw, and I fought many of them, the left hook is a formidable tool. It's a formidable weapon, and just like the straight right, or any right hand, the right uppercut to the body, the left hook is severely vicious. And especially because Earl is a pressure fighter. He doesn't just stand in front of you. He throws punches. He's there for the work, and he's going to be going, and that's going to leave openings, for a sharp, keen eye like Danny Garcia with that powerful. His left hook, man, it's like his own weapon. You know what I mean? My prediction on the fight is, overall, we're all going to be entertained. It's going to be awesome, no matter which way it goes. I'm looking forward to this fight big time. Danny Garcia is a we know what. Look, I ain't got to say what he is. Danny's the man. Danny's the man. Errol Spence is the man too. He's the man that's been touted to be the man for the future. Also, we can say Danny, some will say was the man and still trying to show that he still is. So, but my thing with this fight is I would love to have seen Errol Spence fight somebody of a lesser caliber coming off of that accident. That's just that's just coming from, my viewpoint of it. That's a serious damn accident. We all saw it, and with, and I'm not saying he can't recover and still be himself, but I would like to see him have gotten in there with somebody else, a lesser caliber. Then we can see, all right, he's 100, some things affect us all differently. Hopefully he is 100, but with that accident, that makes me form my opinion. I'm gonna side with Danny 60-40, on this one, just because of that, we don't know what Errol Spence we're getting, maybe he doesn't even know. And I know they're in the gym working, him and his trainer. I respect all them dudes. Those dudes are, man, they kicking ass, the Charlos, Spence, his trainer, they doing what they doing, man. And I got mad respect for them. But I'm going to lean a little towards Danny Garcia just because of the car accident myself, me personally. Now, also with that on Danny's side, Danny steps up to the, he fights, if he got example, that Matisse fight. A lot didn't think he was going to win, and that's an old fight. But I mean, that showed that Danny went there and wiped him out. Nobody thought Danny was going to beat Matisse. We've seen in other fights where Danny stepped up and he's shown us different things. So I'm looking at that. But also Earl Spence, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You can't count Earl Spence out at all because Earl Spence is he is the problem. He's a beast, man. So I just hope he's still 100, I hope he's 100 and shoot, then it goes to 50-50. But right now I'm leaning 60-40 towards Danny.
Chan, let me ask you this, because I'm one of the guys who thought that before the car accident, this was still like a 50-50 fight, right? Yeah. Others felt otherwise, but let me get your take on that. Before the accident, how you saw this fight going and how much it has changed. I mean, you gave us the percentages. It's like 60-40 Danny now, but how much of it is regarded to the accident, and how much belief did you have that Danny was still a fight, before the accident?
I mean, before the accident, this fight happened. I mean, I'm a Philly guy regardless, and I'm rooting for my dude Danny. I'm in this corner, yo, Danny, let's go. Do this. But I mean, we all know that Errol Spence was on the come up. I mean, who he sparred coming up before his name was out there. You had the pros and the pros trainer screaming his name. Errol Spence has proven to be just that, what they were saying. And he's a serious issue. He's going to be the future of this division. I think he might, I couldn't go against him before the accident, but still pulling for Danny Garcia, not seeing any in Danny's armor. And in boxing, we know that anything can happen, fights to say, hey, this guy's going to blow so-and-so's out the water. Tyson Fury's going to murder Cunningham. It ain't going to be no rap. And then boom, oh, snap, what the hell? Fury's down, but he still gets the win. But yet, nobody thought I was going to do anything. So stuff like that, man, that's boxing right there, man. So anybody's opinion is just, hey, we throwing up in the air. This is what I think because of what I see, So
yeah. What did you think about both the performances, right? Errol Spence versus Sean, Danny versus Sean, and who do you think did better? And how much did you attribute the results from each fight to just styles mixed fights?
Wow, that's a great question, man. I just showed my my sons who fight amateur and my nephew who's here getting ready. We're all getting ready to fight in Florida at the end of the month. I just showed them Earl Spence, Sean Porter like 4 days ago. So this fight is so fresh in my mind. Man, that Earl Spence, like, wow, like Sean Porter, man. My freaking, that dude a round of applause, man. Yo, Sean Porter ain't no joke, man. I mean, Sean Porter did his thing, He did his thing, and he made the future undisputed comfortable. You see, Earl Spence got that knockdown in there, man. I think that knockdown solidified it for him. You know what I'm saying? But Earl Spence they both were consistent, man. That was a 50-50 fight up until that knockdown. I mean, keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real, but Spence weathered the storm and he got a clean knockdown, man. And that showed, hey, I'm a step above. You know what I mean? So with Danny, it was a close fight too. Like Sean Porter makes a fight so rough and ugly that you gotta step out of your comfort zone in order to even just deal with him. In order to just stay in there with him. I thought Danny's fight with Porter was a either or. But they chose to give it to Danny. We don't know what these judges are looking for, man. When it comes to the decision, you don't know what these judges are looking for. I like that rush style, or I like the boxing style. Oh, I like that, So there's no real set protocol yet on judging. Like, hey, man, just do this, just judge it by this. No, I'm a puncher's judge, So it is what it is, man. But I thought, in all actuality, I thought Danny kind of handled Sean a little better. But then you have Spence with the knockdown. So there's a 50-50 with that, too. That's what makes this Danny Garcia, Earl Spence fight really a 50-50 fight, man. Seriously.
So, Steve, obviously, you were trained by Nassim Richardson, and, we heard the unfortunate news. I would like, I had the opportunity to meet him and interview him. I was actually at your press conference for the Tyson Fury, and that video still gets hits of him arguing with Tyson Fury, Nazim arguing with Tyson Fury. But that being said, can you give us some stories, man? I mean, because, you know, I met him, but I don't have, you know, anything near what you have spent, the time you spent, and the knowledge that he could have poured into you.
Yeah, you mentioned that Tyson Fury with that brother Nazim had with him. That shows you, like, I've explained to some people in one of my videos or a couple of my videos about Nazim how he's turned down $1 million fighters because he's like, I don't believe I would get a relationship with that person. You know, I didn't believe I would I didn't believe I would feel, you know, for that person. He's like, I don't want to train anybody that I don't have feelings for, and or believe I can grow to have feelings for. So that's why he stepped to Fury like he did and because it's like, yo, you talking about Cunningham, you talking about me, like we're family, and that's how we felt. You know what I mean? But I've got tons of stories. I'll give you one story. When I flew to Germany to defend my IBF cruiserweight title, 2011. Fighting Enat Lucina. We get to Germany. Of course, the flight's 8 hours. You know, we're tired. And they had scheduled, like, literally within 2 hours of us getting to the hotel, not even 2 hours, like an hour, like an interview. We had to, like, leave the hotel and go somewhere. So, you know, my wife's my manager. We have my lawyer, John Horner, and Nazim. You know, we're all like, that's the headquarters of the team. And one of the guys from Sauerland Events, this is who we were fighting for, he comes to my wife, and we went to sleep. As soon as we landed and we got to the hotel room, boom, we was out. You know what I mean? Because the different time zones, you're just messed up. So we're asleep, and he's, you know, I come down later, and Nazim's breathing hard. My wife, everybody trying to calm Nazim down. I'm like, what happened? And she's like, Hagen, that was his name. He's the PR guy for Sauerland Events. He was mad that we went to sleep, that we didn't go to the interview. And my wife was like, we told you to reschedule it. Like, we're tired, you know, and he's kind of like yelling at my wife, got his fingers in my wife's face, you know, and Nazim saw that, you know, and Nazim was like, yo, get your fingers out of her face. You know what I mean? Like you can talk to her, but don't put your fingers in her face. And you know, this dude's German. Their way of interaction is a little different than ours.
Different cultural difference.
You know, right. So Nazim's like, get your hands out of her face, though. You can talk to her with a regular tone, because he was yelling at my wife and this and that. And you know, my wife, she ain't really into that. You know what I mean? She don't have to be, because she got killers around her. You know, so the guy turns to Nazim. He's talking to Nazim, and he tells Nazim, shut up. And my wife said, soon as he's away, Nazim went to swing at that dude. She said she never saw a grown man run so fast. This dude took off through the hotel, was gone. And Nazim was on his heels, man. So that's just one of the stories, man, that I had with Nazim. That here's another one, man. Just to let you know, this
Steve,
dude Nazim was about it.
Let me interject before you get into another Nas story. I do want to double back, because you brought up your sons and the fact that, you know, they both fight. And I know that you are trying to sell some shirts for the Sugarbird tournament to get them there. And I definitely want to help you use the platform to sell a couple of those shirts, to get a couple of those kids from your gym, because I see that you train a lot of guys. I don't know if you physically training them, or you just in the gym every day, or you making a comeback? So many questions.
I ain't never left, man. I just took a break, but I'm trying to do one more fight or two more fights, and I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm not that guy that want to, oh man, I'm gonna get 10 more. Nah, I know I'm in my 40s. I do want to go out the way I want to go out, you know. And I'm still working out, but I'm training all of these guys. Me, Coach Pat, and Coach Guy. I have other trainers with me, so we're all on the same page, and we train about 15 amateurs. You know, 15 people. My son Steve Jr., he's number 4 in the country. My son Cruz Cunningham, he's number 1 at 8 years old. He just turned 9, so we're trying to keep him at number 1 for 9. Then I have another number 1 in the nation guy, Chino Maximus Ruiz. That's his name, nickname Chino. These kids are doing great. So we are selling T-shirts, something to the effect of these, but they're a little better. Just $25 on. You guys can go to USS Fight Academy on Instagram or either Facebook, and get in the DM us. You see the pictures in the log, in the old pics, old posts, and we got shirts and hats. These are all to pay for our travel to Florida for the Sugarbird tournament. Because
when is
costs,
the tournament,
man.
Coach?
So we got flights. Say it again.
When's the tournament?
The tournament is August 29th.
Oh man, that's around the corner then. I said that's around the corner then.
Yeah. So I mean, we've been working, man. I've had my guys. I told them we're going into an official training camp since July 15th. I've been busting their butt. We've been on a constant regimen. You know what I mean? Running. We're actually hitting the track today, and I'm gonna post video footage of that. Got them doing drills. These last weeks is gonna be more mitt work, more focus, and sparring. Just to keep them right, get them in shape. That's one thing. If you're training with me, you are going to be in shape. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You're gonna be in shape. So that's basically it. So we're selling the shirts to help us with the travel. We'll do a GoFundMe like next week, and but I'd like to give people something. If they want to give some money and take this T-shirts, you know what I'm saying? But if some people just like, I just give, we've done it before, so it's great.
Now,
great support.
I forget the name of the gym that you train at, but I remember the graffiti when you come in. It's like long graffiti words. But are you taking over that gym? Has it always been yours? Like, isn't that where Nazim used to train?
Oh no! So I'm in Pittsburgh now.
Oh.
We've been in Pittsburgh since my daughter got her transplant.
Okay.
This is where she got her heart transplant. So like the Tarver fight.
I'm breaking up a little bit.
You had the Tarver at Danny's gym. Did you hear me?
You broke up a little bit. I think you said Tarver.
Yeah. So during the Tarver fight, we moved out here. I just would go back to Philly for training camp. So you interviewed me in Danny Garcia's gym.
Yeah.
You interviewed me and Nazim then, So but at that time we had just bought this house we're in. Shout out to the Tarver fight. The money got me this crib. But you know what I mean? We bought this house at that time, but I was traveling back and forth for all my fights. But and that's one of the things that make the death of Nazim even harder, because I long to just be, when I lived in Philly, man, I was in the gym with him like every day with no fight. We worked, we were family, went to the movies. But then after we left 2015, we were here 2014, 2015. It was he started having a lot of health issues, strokes here and there, put him in the hospital for a short while. And we wouldn't find out until he's out. Nazim's like I said, he's a man's man. So he wouldn't tell you. He wasn't a champion. I'm in the hospital again. He wasn't that guy. You see him a month later, and he won't even say it. You'll find out through people that knew him. People that knew he was in the hospital. I mean, like, damn, Nas, why you didn't tell us, man? And he just like, but after so many years of being with him, we knew how he was. So we knew how to get the information out of him. So, but so that's what touches me even more about his death, is just being out here and not being close to him, leading up to it. I mean, and dealing with the coronavirus, shut down the hospital, because he was in the hospital for literally for like 8 months, man. Let me see, from probably like late October. No, I'm sorry, not late October, early October. And then coronavirus hit in March, shut down the visits. So that tears me and my wife up. That tears a lot of us up in the concrete jungle, because it's like, damn, he was up there by himself. He died by himself, and he was trying to get up out of there, man. He was trying to get up out of there. Like, Nazim was known for escaping hospitals. So they had a constant nurse in there with him, watching him, because he'd get up, he'd take them tubes out and walk right out, man, and then go home, So, and who can blame him, because remember the first stroke, he wheeled himself back, to hell.
Breaking up a little bit there.
He did. The nurses broke up a little bit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So he did what the nurses and doctors told him not to do. They told him to rest and He was like, man, I gotta get up and I gotta push myself. And shoot, he walked out that damn hospital with both legs, supposedly paralyzed on one side. So that's the type of dude he was, man. Or he was. And damn, that even hurt me to say he was. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck. You know what I mean? But it's really hard, man. This is going to be so hard on me forever, man, because Nazim, number one, he was young. He was a plus to the world, not just the world of boxing, but he was a plus to the world. The dude, the nicest dude. I mean, I ain't gonna say nicest because we from Philly, bro. We got that streak. Remember, Philly booed Santa Claus, man. So that's we got that in us when we need it. But Nazim, man, in all actuality, if he said something negative about you, you was a dirty dude. I mean, dirty. You was like a pedophile or something. You know what I mean?
That's dirty.
I've seen that dirty. I've seen Nazim give props to dudes that we all knew, even himself, because he told us, like coaches or fighters that hated on him, or even some reporters, hated on him, just people that just didn't like him, and he gave them props in the interview. Throw their name out there out the blue. And it's like, look at this dude, man. He killing his enemies with kindness. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen that numerous times. I've seen him grease the palms, give you the handshake with some money in it to people who ain't got nothing to do with boxing after he had a big fight, numerous times. So I, like I said before, I want to take a page out of that book. I'm still learning, and he was a great example to learn. So awesome dude. And we're human. Everybody got their little mistakes in there. He's such an awesome dude, man, to learn from and grow from. And I learned so much.
Well, let me ask you something real quick, right? How much, or how many advantages, maybe it's a better way to put it. How many advantages do you think a fighter has, going to becoming a coach and being though that he's been in the ring, he can, how much advantage is that to maybe a coach who hasn't been in the ring to go and coach somebody knowing that exactly what that fighter's going to be going through?
Man, that's a huge advantage. I mean, it's a unmeasurable advantage, I mean, and I used to say, which I don't anymore, I used to say, man, I don't think dudes who never fought should train. I've since changed that, you know what I mean? Because I understand people are students of the game. They learn. You can learn. You can sit and watch and learn. But what I should have said then is people that have fought, that have made the transition to trainer, they have extra input to give to the fighters. Like, I'll use me, for example, with my sons, with guys that aren't my sons that I'm training. And they tell me, hey, I can't throw this because this, and I'll let them know why. Why? How can I do that? Because I've done it. I've been there. Yo, I'm tired. No, you're not tired. Keep pushing. I understand. Or this hurts. You got to work through it. Or do this and do that. It's just stuff that I know that because I've been through it. When we're running, I understand. Like I was explaining, long distance runs. I have this girl. She hasn't had a fight yet, but she's looking great. And we've been taking her. She's about 14. We've been taking her on long distance runs. And she's dying. We took her on.
What's long distance? 4.5. Wow. Huh? No. I was gonna ask you what's long distance, but 4.5. Wow. I'll be dying too.
Ness is probably gonna ask you some running questions, Steve, because he's like always wanting to know how much to run and what is good for a heavyweight. Is it good for a lightweight? Because
because I'm a heavyweight. I hate running. Yeah. It's ruined my knees, but I do it. And I run like 2.8, sometimes 3 miles. Yeah. If we go to the mountain, because it's different, plains, I could get a 5-mile run in because the mountain is up and down, so you get more momentum. But, man, 3 miles in the park is hard for me.
I feel you. My thing is I can't run on a treadmill. I need the scenery, you know what I mean? And also I need to be far.
Steve, you sure you on your own Wi-Fi?
9-mile run. Shoot, we run.
I'm just saying because sometimes
Yeah.
I walk into my house and I might get connected to like my cable and not my own Wi-Fi because it feels like you chopping up more than you should in your own house.
Yeah, it's been acting weird, man. We play Call of Duty and that joint been acting funny on us. My KD looking bad. It's us, man. I don't know what's wrong.
It's all good.
Sorry about
Let's
that.
work through it. Let's work through it. It's just sometimes we lose a few words.
All right. So I mean, when it comes to running, like I said, I love running. We run to the gym every once in a while. That's 7 miles from my house. So
One way?
We get it in like that. Say again?
One way, 7 miles?
Yeah.
So
bro.
then what? Then your
No
wife
way.
picks you up, right? Because you ain't running back after the gym.
No. So that's like so on a Sunday morning we open the gym at 1. We'll leave here at like 11:30. You know what I'm saying? 12 o'clock, and get to the gym just enough time to open it for the kids class. You know, and then we work. Then of course my wife she works. She comes and then we go home. But that's the type of run. So the 4.5, that's a good run for us. But we do longer here and there, man. But for you, I mean, have you tried sprints? Do you do boxing too?
Yeah, I do boxing too. I mean, I stopped since the pandemic because I'm not a pro. So the gym that I go to, they only letting pros in right now.
Hey yo, Steve, I don't know if you knew, but Ness 3-0, man. He had he got 3 little smokers under his belt.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. There's been a few fighters, me, Nate Campbell, a few other fighters. We've been saying this years ago. We're like, boxing writers, boxing reporters, you guys should get in there. So you know when you do your stories, when you know what I mean, when you talk to fighters, you know more now. And
it's true.
Hopefully you understand what I'm talking about.
Listen to me.
Oh yeah, he stopped using the word bum a long time ago.
You are absolutely right. It's changed my vocabulary.
Right,
It's changed the way that I look at a fight. Like, you know, I used to be like, yo, but why he ain't letting his fucking hands go? Like, let your hands go. Bruh, now I'm in there and I'm like,
Steve,
only thing I hear them telling me, let your hands go. I'm like, bro, you get in here and see why you can't let your hands go, man. It ain't the same.
I fought amateurs, and when I came on the show with Ness, I hear Ness like, man, look at this effing bum, and look at this. and I'd be looking at Ness like, yo, like you know how hard that is, and I kid you not, bro. Yo, he got tested. He knows what it is to go through the fire. Yeah, he knows what it is to run out of gas. You got a monster.
I swear to you though, all it did was make me more hungry. It made me more hungry. Like I watched the top rank fights, and I seen that dude. Kingsley, I think it's Ibe.
Okay.
Did you watch the bubble fights at all? Any of the top ranks?
No, I didn't get to see
man,
them
so
joints,
it ain't gonna hit you the same way if you ain't see them fights. But all I'm saying is, I seen a pro. I said, damn, even I could beat this guy. I gotta be able to get this guy.
I feel you.
But it was funny.
He chasing the pandemic fighters right now.
The pandemic fighters. Nah, man. We got a few questions for you from the people, though. Let me get to those. We got James Valdez in San Antonio that says, having been in the ring with Tyson Fury, what can you tell us about his punching power? Wilder said he has pillow punches, yet Tyson beat him easily in the second fight. What's your thoughts on all the tampered glove allegations surrounding that fight? I knew that was going to come.
Right. So when it comes to power, for me personally, in a fight, power is there's only one person whose power I can gauge and tell you, don't F with him. And that's Amir Mansour. Yo, when you remember a dude, that's when you like he hitting with bricks in his fist. You know what I mean? So, I mean, everybody else, their punches were just thuds. You know what I mean? We trained to get hit. Even Fury hit me with one. I remember, and when I was in camp, we talked about it. And I was like, yeah, you caught me with that good right hand. And I was like, okay, I'm cool. You know, I didn't go down enough. I'm like, all right, cool. It was like more of a push because he's so big and heavy. You know, his arms are probably like the size of my thighs. You know, so I don't feel power, but of course he KO'd me, and they always say the shot that you don't see, that's what gets you. So when he covered, you know, he kind of shielded my eyes.
I didn't like that, you know. I didn't like that, bro.
I didn't like it either.
Yeah, that
face
forearm,
and let
man.
me tell you something. Tyson uses these things, in my opinion, it's my opinion, because when he has his back to the ref, he covers the visual of the refs, and he knows how to use that. And yo, when he scraped, bro, when he scraped you like that, I was like, yo, what's he doing?
And really, that's a page out of the book of Bernard Hopkins, man. You know what I mean? To an extent, because B-Hop knew where the ref was every time. You know, go right in your cup. Boop.
Yeah. Like I can't be mad at him for being clever, but I was just there. I was like, man, that wasn't supposed to be like that.
I feel you. My thing was this, and you know, like I said numerous times before, it was illegal. It says, but I also tell people, if the referee's gonna allow you to do what you do, if it's illegal or not, then why are you gonna stop? Especially if it's working. Shout out to Eddie Cotton, you know, rest in peace. You know what I mean? But and he did what he could. You know, he took the points, and you know, and he said it after the fight. That's the dirtiest fighter I ever reffed in my life. That's the great Eddie Cotton said. So fighting Fury, you know, the power, it wasn't that he was strong, man. It really, in all actuality, Fury's plus, which will answer the whole Deontay Wilder. Well, he stopped Deontay Wilder thing is Fury. He has a boxer's mind. You know, he's a 6'9" dude. Mentally, he's 6'2". I mean, 6'2", 6'3". You know, you see how he runs his count. He's in there. Whoop, 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 whoop. He's running punches. Now he'll get you with boxing, and he'll get those bigger guys with boxing ability. This is why he got Deontay Wilder that second fight. One, he ate those right hands in the first fight, and he got up from him. So now, and I know from me, you knock me down and I get up, you in some shit. You in a heap of trouble. Now I'm really on it. So that's Fury. You know, that's that mindset. But he got a whole training camp to think about that and to work around it. And he came back. And if you watch that second fight, they saw something with that left hook in the first fight. And Fury kept landing that left hook. Boom, bop. Then he threw that right hand in there. But then you have a guy like Wilder. All props to Wilder. His power, his plus was his negative. Because when you take the power away from him, he didn't have nothing else. Because Fury ate two of his right hands in the first round. Flush. He ate them. Boop. And I was like, oh, shit. We in for it now. Because I'm rooting for Wilder. He was rolling with them shots, man. Fury just boxed him. He boxed him and put them punches on him. Pop, 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 pop. And got him out of there, man. They threw the towel in. I mean, and in all actuality, my thoughts on the towel being thrown in, I agree with it because Fury's confidence was getting higher and higher and higher. And it was just, and Wilder was getting lower and lower. Once you get lower and lower, your power doesn't mean anything. You know, we know, the boxers, we know that. He didn't really have a puncher's chance because the power wasn't even there when he didn't get beat up, in the first round. So, so when it comes to gloves, listen, I did the video on the glove gate for the first fight. That shit looked weird. I mean, it looked freaking weird. I did a video explaining, and I forgot the kid's name, Joey Spence from the Michigan area.
Yeah.
He also corroborated that's a trick that those guys used back in the amateurs that Fury may have gotten from, I guess, what's his name? Sugar Hill. What's the trainer's name or something? I don't know. I'm not implementing nobody. I'm just saying those damn gloves look funny. I'm glad. Even Errol Spence said something. Joey Spence said something. He looked like crazy. I don't know, like, what the hell is this? Like, my gloves never flip back to my damn wrist. So that's my thought on the glove gate. But the second fight, I didn't see it. I don't think he needed it. You know what I mean? If he did it in the first fight, it is what it is. No, but I will say this. It seems that they let Fury get away with shit, man. And every fight, it don't matter. They let him get away with stuff. Nobody really wants to call him on stuff. That's all I'm going to say about that. But hats off to Fury. He did a great job in that second fight. Good win.
George Foster in the UK says, who's the hardest puncher you ever faced? But you just said Amir Mansour, right?
Yeah. sir. Yes, sir. Like that first, we fought, and that first knockdown was a flash knockdown. And, I've been knocked down probably 18, 20 times in my career. So I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm good. Boop, bang. That second knockdown felt like bricks, man. That one hurt. I was like, so the referee, Steve Smoger, he goes, because Amir and them his team was complaining like, no, the fight should have been stopped there. And Steve Smoger was like, listen, it's up to the referee's discretion, to keep the count or to even give the count or to waive it. He says, when I went over to Steve, Steve said, oh shit. And he's like, I knew Steve doesn't cuss a lot. And now I do, but he said, I knew Steve doesn't cuss a lot. And he said, but when I heard, oh shit, I knew he was all right. Because that's when he hit me, I was like, shit, like, damn. Yo, he hit hard, man. And so then the bell rung, and we, my legs were back up under me. I have a sick recovery time, and went back to boxing. All right, we ain't got to fight him in close no more. We going to box the hell out of him again, And so it was Amir Mansour. That's why I...
Damn, wait, didn't you... But didn't you face Andrew Tabiti too?
Oh yeah.
So he don't got the punching power like that?
Nah, because Tabiti didn't hit me with a right hand in that fight. He didn't hit me with anything clean. Now this is the thing with the Tabiti fight. He tried that Floyd Mayweather rock back right hand, and I just did exactly what Nazem showed me over the years. In order to stop that counter, punch him in the chest. So you see that happen. I think it's the second round. He tried that rock back, and I double jab. He tried to slip back off the first jab, and the second jab hit his chest. Boom. And I told him in the ring, I said, man, that shit ain't gonna work on me, man.
Threw him right off balance.
Right. So he never even tried that punch again. And that. This is the thing with me, and it's my fault. As a veteran, I should have switched gears. I felt I was winning the fight because I was stalking him. I was landing more punches or throwing more punches too. But I should have, as a veteran, I should have switched gear. But his power, that's one thing. It was no threat. I had no threat. You know what I'm saying? I step up to the threat, and there was no threat there. So I felt like I was doing my thing, and he was running so far, so much, and holding so hard. I mean, I never been held like that in any pro fight before in my life. He gripped me like he wanted to go back to the room. You know what I mean? Wow. No crap, man. So I knew he was scared, because they were piping him up. You fighting the guy that knocked down Tyson Fury. So he was scared out of his boots. But he started just running and throwing taps, and I'm like, that shit ain't gonna win this dude the fight. But I'm on Floyd Mayweather's card in Vegas, fighting Floyd's guy. I should have known a little better. And so, hats off to Tabiti for the win. You know what I mean? I hope he has a blessed career, man. But there was no threat there for me. And I just didn't, my on switch was just at mediocre. You know what I mean?
Yeah. John in Michigan says, who is your favorite boxer to watch as of now?
As of now, my favorite boxer to watch. Oh, man. Sheesh. I would say Wilder, man. Like right now, Wilder. Wilder is my favorite fighter to watch.
All right. We got Killer Kells and...
it's Wilder.
I'm sorry. See, that's the internet. I thought you was done, but I guess you was froze. I'm sorry.
Nah, I'm good. I ain't got to get into nothing long.
Killer Kells in California says, now that after all the smoke has cleared, it looks like you were the one who outed Paulie. How does it feel to take down the proverbial dragon?
I'm going to tell you, man. It was heartbreaking for me to find out these are this dude's thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like in all actuality, we were guests at the Hall of Fame, Boxing Hall of Fame, probably Livy, 2006. When we were all champions. We were all champions. Me, Paulie, Corey Spinks, Nate Campbell, Chad Dawson, Chaz Witherspoon, Sean George. This is after Sean beat Chris Berg. And
wait, hold on. You talking about Chaz Witherspoon's father or Chaz Witherspoon fought Usyk?
Yeah. This is back in 06. I mean, Chaz was a beast, man. He was on the up and coming.
But he wasn't a champ.
Chaz was the beast.
But he wasn't a champ, though.
No, he wasn't a champ. But the whole thing was tomorrow's
no,
star. That's what it was.
I understood it the way you were saying. It was like we were all champs. I'm like, wait, damn.
Yeah,
I
I messed that up. Yeah, it was the majority of us were champs, but Sean George.
Yo, you broke up. You
guys remember Fredo?
You broke up, but I did kind of think I heard you say Sean George.
Oh yeah, Sean George, because Sean George had just stopped Chris Bird. Remember, Chris went down to like heavyweight. Remember?
You got stories with him. You know, I got to meet him like 2 years ago, and he brings his heavyweight, Zhilao Zhang, from China to America, and he trains He trains in our gym, yo. So they try to get me to spar him. I'm like, hell no, and I put him to spar the big Chinese dude. He sparred him. I'm like, coach, I'm a reporter.
That's a big lunchbox coming at your face,
bro. My man is huge.
Dude is big, man. He's pretty good. Listen, I got a story for Sean George. It's short. I fought Sean George 2 times in the amateurs, and I could not beat this dude for some reason. I'm like, what the freak? Like, I hit him I think it was the second time we fought, and he's been outboxing me, and he was just slick, and he was an amateur veteran, you know, and he's slick, and I hit him at the end of our, like, literally 10 seconds left, pow, and it was a good shot, and the bell rung, and I'm like, damn. And that was the last time we fought. We fought twice, and then he outboxed me every time outpointed me. And I'm just like, damn, I just couldn't beat you, bro. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But that's when he beat Chris Bird. Then you had the kid from Massachusetts, Manfredo, from the Contender.
Angel Manfredi.
Right,
oh no, you talking about from
Manfredi.
Yeah.
So he was there. Chaz with a spoon, and they were the only ones that weren't champ, but the rest of us were champ, and it was titled tomorrow's future stars. That's what it was. And Paulie was, we were all there. I got to know Paulie. From there, we stayed in kind of, I won't say in touch, but it's like, when we were at events, yo, Paulie, what's up? Dap, sat there, talked for a minute. And then when my son started boxing, I would show my sons, like I had specific fighters I would show my sons. And Paulie was one of them for Steve Jr. because I'm like, yo, look at his jab. This dude has no power, but for some reason he was able to become a 2-time world champion.
2 times, Steve. 2 times, bro. He shocked me when he went to Ukraine and beat Sinchenko. I could not believe Paulie got a stoppage for a world title and a stoppage. I was like, wow. That changed everything for me for Paulie.
Right. So when I got the somebody sent me the link and was like, yo, look at your man Paulie said. And I'm like, I watched the link, I watched the video on YouTube, and he says all this crazy crap. The era of the black fighter is over. I'm like, what the hell are he talking about? Racial oppression. There's no more racial oppression in 2020. That's over. And I'm like, well, in order for racial oppression to be over, there had to have been some type of war or some type of serious event. Where's that at? That never happened. So that's when I went off because my son, Steve Jr., who's now 17, he was sitting there and he was like, oh, that's Paulie said that? My son said that. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, damn. You know what I mean? So that kind of added extra steam to my anger. Like, yo, what the hell's wrong with this dude? And then I find out he's a Trump supporter. And, people were sending me links and screenshots of racist and just bigoted, prejudiced posts that he liked, that he commented on, that he pages that he followed that were racist. And I'm just like, wow. So I went in on him. And shoot, then the LDBC, my brothers from Texas and all over, they started putting pressure on Showtime. And hey, man, it's only right because, and then this is the funny thing. And I say this is funny as hell. About a month after Paulie said, or a few months after Paulie or that stuff was being put out, now the whole world's protesting the racial oppression of blacks in America. I'm like, this mug is so stupid. The whole world was protesting it for us, for the oppression that we face. So I'm like, Paulie, really, dog? You know what I mean? You cut that Trump shit. It's like Trump's got a spell on these guys, man. You know, it's really but they claim he's not racist. I don't get it. You know, so it is what it is. I'm happy to have put him out there and to show, hey man, listen, everybody ain't your friend. You know what I mean? They might seem cool. The white guy you deal with, he might seem cool, but he could be a racist behind the scenes. You know, I've always instructed my sons on this, man. You know, because we live in it ain't like it changed. It just used to be hidden more. Now now they putting it out in your face. So in order for a guy like Paulie to do that, who grew up around black people, who learned from him, who sparred with him, trained with him, like, really, this is what you think? Like, this is what you think? And then I just put out a post a few days ago where he liked a post that said, get a job, to Black Lives Matter. You know how the Black Lives Matter was painted in the street? There was a picture of that, but they took the Black Lives Matter out and wrote, get a job. And it basically said, fuck your and that. You know, he likes it. This is what your champ likes, you know, so it is what it is, man. Listen, like I said, I'm not happy that I did that it was him that I had to do it to, but listen, anybody in boxing, anybody I know, if I find out any of my white people or white friends are racist, you getting cut off and I'm putting you out there, period. We need to know.
Okay, the next one, I think it's coming in from, was that King Amin of Essex? Yes, it is. It's King Amin of Essex. He's in Newark, New Jersey. Says, peace, champ. Who you got?
What's up?
He says, who you got? Mike Tyson or Roy Jones, and why?
Ooh. Hold up, baby. Hold up. Listen, this is a complicated question right here. Let me stretch. Listen, I'm happy. I am very happy that these two dudes are at this age able to make millions. You know what I'm saying? Like, on the real. You know, I'm very happy at that. Now, with that being said, I'm about to mess some money up. With that being said, that's not the same Mike Tyson. So, I mean, and you know what I mean? From that we know. And I see people, and it's good. Get excited. You know, I'm excited. I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to see it too. But realize that ain't that Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson ain't the animal he used to be. You know, he's a changed man. You know what I'm saying? He's different. And you can tap back into that a little bit. But that Mike was a motherfucking savage. That's the Mike that we know. And we shouldn't expect that Mike. Don't expect that Mike. Roy Jones, after the Tarver KO, and I respect Roy, man. That's what I do. But really, if the wind blow too hard on his chin in a fight, man, it's, you know what I mean? His legs is gone. You know? So I look at it like this. I'm leaning towards Roy Jones, though. Why?
Say
because
what?
Listen, bro. Listen. I'm leaning a little bit towards Roy. Overall, saying it's a 50-50 fight. Towards Roy. That's it, man. Roy should not be trying to get in there and mingle and mix with Mike Tyson. He should not be fighting this close. Roy should box. If Roy can keep the boxing, he won't get knocked out, and that's the only way Mike's going to beat him, unless Mike hits him with a hard shot. Because I mean, and I've watched some of Roy's later fights. Roy gets hit, and once he gets buzzed, he's buzzed. You know what I'm saying? It's an ongoing buzz. He's effed up. So if Mike can catch him with a good shot and Roy be effed up, then Mike can get him or a decision. But I see Roy outboxing Mike. I see Roy outboxing Mike.
I can't believe you picking Roy. Even though I said to myself,
I love Mike.
I said to myself, Tyson been out the ring for so long, it might just be that much easier for Roy. But do you believe Tyson when he says he's going out there on a seek and destroy? If the knockout is there, he's taking it, even though it's supposed to be an exhibition?
Yeah, I mean, listen, they can label it whatever they want. Exhibition, smexhibition, flexhibition, whatever. Fight, bro.
So you think it's going to turn into a real fight?
it is. It is a real fight
Let
right
me ask
now.
you. Let me ask you this, Steve. Is sparring a real fight?
Hell yeah.
It's a real fight.
Hell yeah. Sparring, like, especially like when I spar with guys from the concrete jungle, Nazim's guys, we know each other. So that's not a fight. We working on stuff, but they gonna shit. If they get something clean, it's gonna hurt, you know? But if dudes come from another gym and we sparring, that's a real fight, bro. That's a real fight, and you better act accordingly.
Hell yeah,
you know what I mean? So for people to say, oh, this is just an exhibition, they not training like it's an exhibition. You know what I mean? They getting it in. And there's money on the table. We're going to get these people what they pay for. So there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to get out there and that they're not going to get out there and perform. Yeah, they're going to do their thing. These are legends, not just champions. They are legends, sealed, signed, delivered, forever legends. They know how to do this, and they're going to get in there and do it. And the competition in a champion, it don't matter if we playing checkers. It don't matter if we racing down the street. That's competition. I'm gonna beat you. You know what I mean? Exhibition. I'm gonna beat you in the exhibition.
Champ, before we move forward to any other questions, can you just give out again the address where people could get the shirts to support the amateurs in your gym and getting them to the Florida Sugarbird?
Oh yeah, no doubt. USS Fight Academy on Instagram and Facebook. You can come in, check the post, look at the old post. I put it up yesterday.
It's
you
the one.
Comment on that post or get in the DM.
Is it the one that says second batch of shirts and hats in, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm screen sharing it now for the people watching on YouTube Live. We're screen sharing it now. These are the hats. These are the fitteds right there, as you can see. And these are the shirts. You have any other posts like wearing it? Because those are just on like the desk.
You got one on right now.
Nah, this is the old one. I'll put it up right after this show. I was gonna do it anyway today, anyway, because we got about 15 left. So
how many kids you trying to get to the tournament altogether? How many kids? How many kids?
Let me see. 1, 2, 3. I got about 7, man. It's about 7 of us all going. You know, I got like 5 fighters and 6 fighters and myself. So I'm gonna be the only coach there. So what we do is like we've got money from sponsor. We get sponsored. You know, one of the kids' fathers owns an oil company, so he sponsored our flights. Great, shout out to them. And so we got the flights. Next is we're just raising money for the Airbnb, because instead of getting a hotel room, we'll just get the Airbnb, which is cheaper than a hotel room, and we need food money. That's it. And then we get down here, kick some butt, take names, and bring back some belts or something, some trophies. You know, that's the goal.
Let's go, Chance.
What's your oldest fighter?
My oldest fighter, Juice. Juice is 24.
Okay.
Juice is 24, and he wants to go pro, so he's going to do about he wants to do about 10 amateur fights, and then you know dip his toes in the pro ranks, and I think man, he's pretty good. The thing with the amateurs is you got to, as a coach, we have to instill that confidence in him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's pretty damn good. It's like, dude, you just got to do this in the fights. You know what I mean? So.
Are your amateurs fighting headgear or non-headgear?
Oh no, headgear, man. That's listen. Whoever started this no headgear stuff, man, and they obviously didn't box. You know what I mean? They obviously didn't box. That's ridiculous. You know, who the hell? I heard from one of the USA Boxing presidents. We did test and they headgear caused more. I was like, what? How the hell did headgear cause more damage? Almost every amateur fight that I witnessed without headgear ended with a cut. Seriously, I'm not lying. Almost every one, probably 89% out of 100, ended with the cut. So if you have these kids or these young men, young women too, fighting without headgear and they sustaining all of this scar tissue, when they turn pro, they're gonna retire with less than 10 fights because they just can't keep their damn cuts closed. You know, like, come on, man.
I didn't like the knockout that Richard Torres took in the amateurs. I didn't know if you know.
Exactly.
I didn't like that. And he was fighting a guy who was essentially a pro. Like, took him out, like, bro.
I thought you guys wanted to protect the kids, wanted to protect our athletes. Like, come on, man, protect. Shit, put the headgear on. Sometimes some people think the glove should be a little thicker. You know, stop trying to appease Aiba and stop trying to get more knockouts.
Let me ask you, since we're talking about this, normally we interview fighters and trainers like, oh, you want your son to... Nah, I don't want my son to fight. I mean, if he wants it, I'll let him, but it ain't what I want for him. But you got both of your sons fighting, so yeah.
I got a 3-year-old that's coming up too. Shoot, don't play with me, man. Listen,
so why is it cool for you?
Because for me, it's a few things. I'm just name a couple, but one. This is what I do. You guys know in ancient times or in history, if your father was a doctor, you were a doctor. If your father was a veterinarian, you were a veterinarian. You know what I mean? So I'm a 2-time world champion. Yo, at least my boy, at least they should try. You know what I'm saying? At least they should try. I'm not saying they're gonna be 2-time. Shit, in all actuality, your sons should be better than you. They should be unified 4-time, 3 division champs. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for. You know, so. With that being said, I originally with my first son, you know, all my kids come to the gym with me. They come to the gym with me. I was like the stay-at-home dad because my wife worked and I worked out. And this is before boxing was taking care of everything. She was taking care of everything. And I had the car seat, go to the gym, boom, prop the car seat up, glove it up, and they were watching me. So I said, I didn't want little Steve Jr. to fight, but then it hit me. I'm like, you know, I see him on the bag, and I'm like, man, let's give it a try, you know. And he got the movements, and he didn't even look that great in the beginning, but I'm like, oh, he can learn. He can learn. So I took my time and taught him, and shoot, he's number 4 in the nation now. And then with my 9-year-old Cruz, he was throwing punches before he could walk, and now I got video footage of that, you know. So you know how some kids have a teddy bear or something that they sleep with.
They attached
to a boxing glove.
Oh, that's what's up.
No bullcrap, man. That ain't no lie. And everybody that knows us, they can tell you that that's the truth. So I think, and I ran into an old referee. You guys, Cortez. I think that's his name.
Yeah, Cortez.
I ran into him, and and he saw my sons. This is when my son was like 7 when he first started training, and we were at some fights. Like at the elevator, and he goes, "Hey, champ, man, how you doing?" I'm like, "How you doing, man? How you been?" He's like, "Oh, man, protect your babies, man. Don't let them fight. You better let them fight." And I was like, "All right." And then I'm like, "Why wouldn't I?" You know, I let him have his piece. I ain't get with him.
Absolutely.
You know, respect for the elders, but I'm just like, wow, why wouldn't I? Like, I mean, yeah, this damage you can take. It hurts. And shoot, there's a risk of death. But that's a lot of job. Would you send your kids to the military? Probably, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shit, they come back in the bag, possibly, or not just damn dog tags. Hey, let's keep it real. So,
what do you think? Isn't it? I think it's like kind of like the same, right? Look, you put your kids in karate school. They could get kicked in the head, and you put your kid in wrestling. He could get his arm twisted out of his socket.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Kid died from hitting his head on the goalpost of the soccer game. You know what I mean? So.
I think all of these sports carry risks, man. And I think that our sports just looked upon a little in a darker light sometimes.
Yeah, because people see hitting each other as, oh, it's so brutal. It's like, come on, really? Football is more brutal than boxing. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, I've been tackled by a 280-pound guy.
Right. Right. That's more brutal than boxing. One of the last reasons why I decided to I wanted to train my boys and give it to them is because I know my son, Steve Jr., he wants to go pro. So in about 3 years, we're going to be looking to turn him pro. And me and
How old is he, Steve? How old is he?
Say again?
How old is he?
He's 17. He'll be 18 this year, November.
So you turning him at 21 or 20?
Well, yeah, we're going to look at where he's at in the rankings or towards the next Olympics at age 20. 20, and we're going to try to go for the Olympics, or hey, we out. You know, we got what we need, because really, in all actuality, my thing with him, and is I want to see him do certain things before I turn him pro. We're right there. But there's a couple things I want to see him do. You know what I'm saying? Or be able to do in box. I don't mean just winning tournaments. I mean like certain decisions he makes in the ring. Then I'm like, all right, we ready to progress to the professional rank. So he's doing his thing. Actually, he's supposedly going into camp with Danny Garcia just for some sparring here and there.
Uh-oh.
You know, so
Look
because he's
out.
a southpaw also.
What's his weight?
140. He's 147 right now. He's going to fight at 152 in this tournament. We're trying to move. You know, he's growing. He fought at one. He's number 4 in the nation at 141. But you know, he's growing, and I don't really like cutting weight on him too much. You know, I'm like, hey, listen, you're gonna fight at the weight you at. We just gonna build up a little more muscle, a little more strength, and you just box these monks' ears off. So
Man, that's
I
beautiful.
talked with Danny already, and Danny was like, shoot, Danny was already sizing him up like at the J-Rock fight in Philly in January. He was like, yo, man, these mugs got big. He's like, what's his weight? It was like 140, 145. He's like, man, why you ain't bringing for sparring already? I'm like, when you sparring the southpaw, and when you fighting the southpaw, and he's like, man, I'm fighting Red Catch next week. And I was like, damn. So he's like, bring him down next time. And, you know, we got the word that he was fighting Spence, sent him the text already. He was like, yeah, let's have it. So this is going to be epic for him, because when I first sparred my first pro, which was Chris Bird, like my first elite pro, it took my boxing skills to, I ain't bullcrapping, to another level. Even though Chris tatted me up out of that, and I got that footage, I got to get it on, digital. I'm going to show that, you know, but you know, even though, you know, Chris is in there playing with me, tatting me up, and I'm trying my best. Then when I came back home and I sparred with a guy that was a pro that used to tear me up, yo, I shut him down. Literally within like 2 weeks of coming back from Chris Bird, because it just gives you that IQ. So that, me knowing that was like, yo, go to camps. I've been to everybody's training camp, dude. I sparred with everybody. I went to camp after camp, and that's how I got better and better. It's who you spar, you know? So that's why I'm sending my son, hey, yo, let's go, man. Get this work with Danny. Shoot, let him catch you with that left hook, or whatever. Don't let him catch you with that left hook. But learn, you know, still from these guys.
Man, I got so many questions for you.
Let's have it, man.
Well, what direction are you going to take them? I mean, I know your wife was your manager, but Al was your advisor, and the second half of your career was a lot better than the first half of your career. But now you know everything that you know, so I'm sure navigating through the boxing world as a advisor, manager yourself for your own son is going to be easy, but what route would you take?
Well, first, that was part of my question on why, part of my answer on why letting him box, because I know he wants to go pro, and we've been there. You know, me and my wife, I was the guinea pig. That's what I've been saying now. I'm like, yo, I see it now. Because you guys see my career, robbery here, this and that. I was almost there at elite, or well, I was elite cruiserweight, but, you know, at stardom. That's what I'd say. And I just didn't get that 3-time. I just didn't get that. And it's like, all right, I was the guinea pig. The guinea pig made it the 2-time world champion. So now we're going to use the knowledge that we have and the connects, and that's going to give him a much better career than mine. So that's basically it. So which route will we go? Of course, you know, I've already spoken to Al. Listen, I think I'd go with a different route instead of just going straight to Al. Or actually, I mean, we'll go to Al. You know, we'll make him the agent. You know, but we'll get a fight here, get a fight there. I know smaller promoters, and we'll sift them, build his record up a bit, and then we, you know what I mean, if prayerfully, which it should be, PBC should still be around. That's where we going, you know. Keep it home, you know what I mean?
So,
we familiar with all of them, you know.
So you would do some King's promotions, so to speak, because they work a lot in your area.
Yes. Okay. I do some King's promotion. I do some DeBella, you know, some DeGuardia.
Okay.
You know,
you gonna bring him up east? You gonna bring him to New York?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And now that we're in Pittsburgh, listen, Pittsburgh is a
right there for Cincinnati,
haven for a fan base.
Oh yes.
Haven for fan base.
Yes,
dude,
you know,
these amateur
remember that
shows
kid
are
that was
standing
big in
room
Pittsburgh?
only.
What's the dude Floyd fought was big out there?
Spatafora. He didn't fight him, but he sparred.
No, the other one. Manfredi isn't not Manfredo. Manfredi isn't Angel Manfredi from out there?
No, is he? I don't think so. No, you might be thinking of Paulie Spatafora, huh?
Well, I know Spatafora definitely from out there and fought in the mountain there, but I thought that the other dude was from there, so I'm gonna double check. Angel Manfredi.
Nah, I think he's from I don't know where he's from. I don't think he's from Pittsburgh though. Cause the only world champ they have is Spatafora. You know.
Oh, it said he's from Gary, Indiana, and Puerto Rican descent.
Yeah.
Damn, I was off.
Yeah. Right. I didn't know he was of Puerto Rican descent.
Me neither. Me neither. I thought, man, Freddie was white.
No, right? Learn something every day, bro.
Yeah, but that's good,
so
man.
With like I told my son, like, dude, we build a fan base here because that's power. Like I said, we know the power in boxing is fan base. You can fill seats. You know, you're gonna get that. You gonna get them big paydays. You know, and if you're good. So here, man, like I said, the amateur fights are standing room only. You know, so yeah, I mean, it's good.
I mean, you got to use your popularity to get him out there, though, man. You got to get on more shows, bring him on, and start building that social media power now so that he could sell them tickets when he starts posting, like, I got to fight, people buying them tickets. Look, we got a few more. It's actually 3 left. We got King Amin and SXS Peace Champ. What do you think about a fight with F.A. Ajagba since you've had a good working relationship with Top Rank and F.A. just signed with them? Would you take a fight with F.A.? But that's heavyweight. You trying to go back to heavyweight?
Yeah, indeed. That's where I want to retire at heavyweight. Like I said, I talked with Al a couple years ago, and I said, Al, listen, I want to do 2 more fights. You know what I mean? If it parlays into 3, I'm cool with it. But I understand. I'm ready to pass the torch. You know, I don't want to stick around till I'm 50. I understand, lady, hey, let's go. But I'm in the shape that I can. You know, I'm sparring all the time. Shoot, we're sprinting today. I do everything. Listen, it is what it is. But F.A. Ajagba, no doubt. Listen, I don't turn nothing down. If that fight came across, I would. Yeah, I see where I could possibly do something with him. You know, no doubt. I like the heavyweights because heavyweights are, number one, they underestimate me. You know, he's small. They don't understand.
They slower than you too, right?
Say again? No, 40. I just hit 44 last week.
Let's go, champ. Happy belated.
No, I said they're usually slower than you though.
Yeah, exactly. Then that's what I was saying on the guy yesterday. Like, the speed difference. Yeah, they're fast, but for heavyweights, but that speed, it's slower than what I'm used to. You know, dealing with Brother Nazim, back to Brother Nazim. The way he would do it in training is, you know, when I was fighting heavyweight, he'd bring in cruiserweights and light heavyweights, you know, after the big guys I sparred. You know what I mean?
To help with the speed.
So to help with the speed, to get your eyes acclimated to that speed, that smaller guy's speed. So when I'm in there, oh snap, this you know, ain't nothing.
You seeing it like the Matrix.
Exactly. So, you know, that's a key. But also my athleticism, my movement, and the utilization of the jab. You know, a lot of people don't understand it, man. So, you know, with F.A. Ajagba, shoot, really, man, listen, we could do a Steve Cunningham, Chris Arreola. That would be a barn burner. You know, shoot, you could bring in Brazil. Anybody, man. I'm like, listen,
damn,
I just want to end.
You will fight Brazil? He pretty tall for you, champ. Ain't you only like 6'2"?
6'3". I mean, hey,
I know
Brazil,
Fury was tall. I know Fury was tall, but I'm saying, you want to deal with that again?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because again, like, nobody would be able to do what Fury did to me. Even Fury would. If I rematch Fury, he wouldn't be able to do that again to me. You know, because I know why I was there for him to lay on, because I wanted to fight a little more. Because you guys remember that was right after the Atomic fight that I quote unquote lost. Mm-hmm. But I pitched the damn 8.5 shutout in that fight. So what I was getting from the boxing world was, Cunningham small. They remember that's when they wanted somebody to fight Vladimir. They wanted somebody to compete against Vladimir. So they're looking at me like, Cunningham was a small cruiserweight. He didn't have power then, you know. So now I move up to heavyweight and I'm out boxing these dudes, but they want knockouts, and they didn't give me the Atomic fight. Like, what the hell? Like, still give me mine. I won that clear as day. And so the next fight was Fury, and it's like, yo, I got to show these dudes I can rumble a bit. I can crack. And that's what that fight was about for me, even though it was a bit against Nazim's wishes. I'm so sorry. Because Nazim, the whole plan was just to keep, doing like I did Atomic. But inside me, I'm like, I got to show, I want to show, and, I should have listened completely to Brother Nas. And, but Fury is agile himself, and he was able to cut me off. But he did all, nobody knew he was going to do all that, laying on you. And,
how heavy does he feel?
No, it does.
He did it to Wilder even heavier. So
he's bigger. You don't feel it initially because you're fighting and adrenaline's going. But after round 4, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm breathing heavy, and I slowed down a bit. Round 5, I'm like, all right, the round where he got the KO, I was slowed down, and I was feeling it a bit. But I know in 12, I've been fighting 12 rounds since 2005, 2004. And, I get second and third wins. So I'm like, all right, in between this round, I'll be cool. Round 9, round 10, I get the second win too. You know what I mean? So I was just like, let's just make it out of this round. And the next thing you know, I'm looking up at the lights. But but you feel it. It accumulates. It's a gradual accumulation of fatigue, when Fury lays on you like that. They're very smart, very smart. If they let you do it, why stop?
All right, and it looks like Big Casual says, if Wilder were to win the 3rd fight, do you think that the 4th fight can be the biggest fight in heavyweight history? Can't remember heavyweights of this caliber fighting 4 times. Hashtag 2-time. So he believes Wilder's going to win.
Yeah. I mean, really, well, let's look at it like this. Would we want to see a 4th fight between Wilder and Fury? Depending on how this 3rd one goes, we might. If it's exciting, if Wilder cleans him out, people going to be like, the UK fans going to be like, rematch. But what about Joshua and this unification? Do I want to see Wilder and Fury fight a 4th time before I see a unified crown champ at heavyweight? Nah, I would like to see Wilder fight Joshua. Or that's if he wins. Or the winner of Fury, or if Fury wins, fight Joshua. Then go back, let's get the rematch,
All right, we got Steve in Chicago as our last one. He says, thanks for coming on the show, champ. I believe Sean Porter is among the elite welterweights we have.
No doubt.
And an occasional UK host on the show that says Porter is a gatekeeper. Do you agree with this statement?
Hell no. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, after we did the legitimate research, gatekeeper is a guy that holds the...
Yeah.
Like if you fight Sean, you get a title shot. That don't mean he's a journeyman. See, when that was first said, I confused it with journeyman. But after checking the internet, gatekeeper is a guy that if you fight him, you get a title shot. And I mean,
he holds the keys to the promised land, so to speak.
But I mean, the only guys that really gonna beat Sean are elite. Everybody he faces that's not elite, he beats him, And even look what he did with the Cuban guy. I forgot his name.
Ugas.
I mean, he went out there and switched his style up.
Totally.
And he made it a little uncomfortable for himself on the scorecards probably, or it could have been, but he won it. He showed you I'm versatile. I can do this, but I do this. I do that in close thing, really. So that's that dude's elite. I wouldn't call him a gatekeeper. I wouldn't even call him a gatekeeper. He's still elite. He's elite to me.
Before we did the research, I always felt like gatekeeper was
negative,
offensive. Do you as a fighter? Do you as a fighter recommend we don't say that to other fighters? Is it regardless of what the internet says or the true definition is a gatekeeper, a negative statement?
I mean, if you gotta assess the fighter. Like here with Sean Porter, I would never call unless Sean Porter started losing to dudes that he's supposed to beat, on not elite dudes, then he's a gatekeeper. If he would have lost to you guys, you could consider him a gatekeeper. You know what I'm saying? But he's in there and he's losing to elite. He lost to Spence, close. He beat Danny. Come on, man. That ain't no gatekeepers ain't beating Danny, man. You know what I mean? So assess the fighter. You know, there are fighters that are gatekeepers, and assess their career, where they're at in their career. Because some fighters, hey, I don't care if you call me a gate. Like right now, you call me a gatekeeper, I don't give a damn. Get me in there. I'm gonna show you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you. So some fighters will take it just to get on. Yeah, I'll be a gatekeeper. All right, who wants to fight me? And then shit. Okay, here's an example: Nate Campbell versus Juan Diaz. Gatekeeper, huh? They would call Nate Campbell. They probably would have called Nate Campbell a journeyman, probably. And Nate sizzled Juan. Oh my goodness, took all of them belts.
He said sizzled them.
Sizzled. So you know, it depends. It depends on if the fighter accepts it, and or where that fighter that you're calling a gatekeeper, where he is in his career, who's he lost to.
True.
You know
Sean's been already a champ too.
Yeah.
Sean is a two-time welterweight champ. In this era, he's a two-time. That's why I don't get why Sean doesn't get the popularity, you know, because it's hard to become a two-time welterweight champ right now. In the last, you know, anywhere between the last 10 to the next 5 years, it's not going to be easy to get a belt 2 times.
Nah. It ain't easy to get a belt 2 times anywhere on actuality, but in that weight class, it's extra hard.
Steve,
you know what I mean?
Steve, if you want some advice, have your son sign the Al, but be with Top Rank, and you'll get him a 2-time. Okay. Top Rank, Top Rank, they know how to position dudes for vacant titles left and right. I mean, look. Shakur fought for a vacant title. Now they made him vacate it so that Navarrete can fight for a vacant title. So now they're going to call Navarrete a 2-time champ because he just vacated his title. So he vacated his. Somebody else about to fight. I think Magdaleno about to fight for his. I mean, it's just too much, you know. So, you know.
Listen,
they'll get it done for you.
At the end of the day, you look at it like this. At the end of the day, titles are everything. Like for me right now, you know, before I retire, hey, this is Steve Cunningham, 2-time world champ, commentating for FS1. That looks great. That sounds great.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Sounds great. You know, so it's all about the name, the title. He's a 2-time. He's a 3-division. Yada yada. Oh snap! This dude know what the hell he talking about. For sure.
Nah, you're right. You're right, man. It's part of the resume, man. It's part of your resume.
Right.
So Steve, last question before we let you go. Yep. You not coming out with any books? Maybe your wife, because I know that your wife has been with you every step of the way. She not writing anything about the story?
Well, here we go. Well, no doubt. We have a plan which we have to put in motion. We're so busy, but books are in our agenda. Like, it should be immediate agenda, no doubt, for management, just even the stories of what fighters should do, what they shouldn't do from our viewpoint. Another book that I'm doing, which I don't know if you guys know, that I'm doing a comic book.
Yes, I follow you on Instagram, so I seen it.
Yeah. So what I've done was I've turned myself into a superhero, and the guys that I fought, into villains. So the first comic book, in all actuality, I'm sending the files to the comic book company today to make the book, the first sample, so I can make sure it's okay, is USS versus Hardcore Mansoor. You know, Mansoor's on board. He's like, yo, I called him, like, it's like 2 years. This thing's been in the makings for 2 years. I called him 2 years ago. I was like, Amir, let's do this. He's like, cool. You know, you get I got permission to use his likeness and name. And man, I got the story. You guys can go to @USS Comics on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Really just Instagram and Facebook. Twitter, I don't have no followers on the comic book joint there. But and I don't share a lot there, but on Instagram and Facebook, I share a lot. I just released the first cover because this Mansoor story is literally like 80 pages long, so I had to break it up into 3 comics. The great thing about this is I'm drawing it all, made the story, and I'm using some of the in the fight scenes of the comic book are some of the fight scenes from our actual fight. So it's gonna be fire, man. So
that's dope.
That's the book. That's one book. But yeah, we're thinking of doing like a book about our career, managerially, because my wife, in all actuality, she was face to face, you know, head to head with Don King on negotiating my world championship fights, with silent events, with Kathy Duvin main events, you know, with our lawyer, John Horner, you know, who was Floyd's lawyer and Vladimir's lawyer. So one of the best lawyers in boxing. Happy birthday, John. And, you know, so we got a lot that we know. There's a lot of stories I want to share, but I'm gonna put stuff in the book, man. But we got information to get. We get a lot of fighters. It's like, yo, Cunningham, what should I do here? And listen, I give fighters advice, whatever I can do, because that's what was done to us by Chris Bird and his wife, who was his manager.
That's what's up, man. I feel you definitely should at least have your wife write one. I would read it.
You're right.
We definitely did a book review on Adrian Clark's memoirs of a boxing manager, and it was just really good stories, and it was interesting. And if you guys ever write one, I would love to hear a woman's point of view of navigating such a ruthless sport, because again, her story needs to be told. I know you, and I followed your career. For people that don't know you, they don't know how easy or rough it was. Like I said, the second half of your career is more glorified, I would assume, in your eyes. But I know that first half wasn't easy. You had to travel overseas a lot. So, yeah, it would be a great book, man. I do want to thank you, obviously, for all the time you gave us today. You're a champ.
Cool, bro.
For sure. One more time, give everybody those shirts, man. We got to get his kids all to the Sugarbird tournament. Those are big tournaments. And also give out your social media. Steve, thank you once again.
No doubt, man. Thanks for having me, guys. So for the T-shirts, and this is our gym's our gym's social media page is USS Fight Academy. This is the gym that me and my wife, we run, we own, and we train guys. We train everybody.
That's in Pittsburgh?
The average Joe. Yeah, it's in North Versailles, like 6 miles outside of Pittsburgh.
How many square feet you got? Is it big?
Man, how many square feet we got, Livy? 11,000. It's pretty
what?
big.
So you got weight rooms and everything.
If we're gonna be doing our own shows coming. Well, once this COVID kind of screwed up a lot.
Yeah.
But we're going to be doing our own shows at my building. So everybody's going to know about it. And I have plans to do champions versus champions. So like you have me as a 2-time world champion with my boxing team. I know Nate Campbell or even Chad Dawson has a gym, I believe.
That's pretty
James
dope.
Toney, Buster Douglas. So I want to get together and boom, we put that together, man. Just start doing that, man. That's going to be dope.
Let me ask you, has your state allowed full capacity, or are you on restricted capacity for your gym?
I mean, listen, I'm one of them dudes, man. You come in my gym, you only got to wear a mask unless you got a fever or are you sick, and like that. That's or you know what I mean. And we used to do Parkinson's class, for people with Parkinson's, the elderly people. We do our Parkinson's class in the morning. But since COVID, and they're really at high risk of death, 70-some years old and older, we cut that out. And they agreed, they staying home. But outside of that, we've got our youth. We still have our youth class. We still going about 70-80%.
Beautiful.
Capacity with people.
Yeah. Do you because obviously you could do whatever you want, but do you I don't want to say rent, but like lease out? You say you got 2 rings. Like, could someone throw an event in your gym?
I mean, yeah, if they could. They were actually going to do like one of those non-audience fights at the end of July a couple weeks ago at my
televised
gym. But yeah, they were going to do it, but they wanted to test it out like a non-audience fight just to keep the kids rolling. Yeah. But it didn't work. For some reason it didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, we got 2 gyms. Really, a few of these. Listen, a 2-time world champion just came to the Pittsburgh area and opened a gym. Within a year and a half, we got 3 nationally ranked fighters. All right, so it's been intimidating to a lot of these people. And I've been telling other coaches, because we do open sparring every Sunday. Every Sunday, open sparring. Yo, let's come on. We got 2 rings. Let's get it in. You know what I mean? So, but some of these guys, they don't come down. They're a little intimidated. And I'm like, listen, 1, I'm not trying to steal your fighters. That's number 1. Number 2, you could come down here. I have this thing where the trainers, you can come and bring your guys. Only your fighters have to pay admission. Or have to pay memberships. Yeah. The trainers, you can come down here for free. Just train your guys. Because we got so much space. I'm like, dude, I don't want to be the only one in here training guys. Shoot, really, I'm overwhelmed sometimes.
Man, you need sound like you need an assistant. The minute you said that you was going to Florida as the only coach, I said, where's his assistant at?
Well, I mean, I have Coach Alex and Coach Pat, but they have like Coach Alex can't make it because he works with the union, and Coach Pat he works with the VA hospital. So I'm always the one that go to when the national tournaments were going on. It was just me, or sometimes Coach Alex can get away. But no, they're helping though. But I'm saying like, other coaches, you could come and bring your guys like in Philly, in New York, and wherever. You got a gym, but you have different trainers training different teams there.
Do you got any 68-pounders there?
Yeah, I got yep.
But amateurs or pros? All your guys are amateurs? Everybody that goes there is amateur?
Everybody's there now is an amateur right now.
Yeah.
I got one pro that I'm starting to train. He's a heavyweight guy. He's just coming down to get some work with me recently. And he supposedly has a fight in California at some point. He doesn't have a date yet, but so I'm sorry.
What's his name?
He is and what's his full name, Livy?
Don't say Chris Lovejoy.
Nah. Bryant, what? James Bryant. He's a former NFL player, and he's what has he got? Like, what is he, like 7-1 as a pro?
What?
So he's been doing his thing. Yeah, but so he's supposed to fight. He got word to fight this Greek Olympian in California that I think Top Rank has him. I don't know, but I'm like, listen, dude.
Cut out? Yeah, his internet. Out a little bit? His internet. Call him internet. Damn, that's the longest it froze.
So he's like, yeah, man, I'm game. So we'll see if he get that call back. We'll see. Nah, man, I'm serious about this, man. People know, listen, I ain't bullcrapping. I'm not a big-headed guy, but I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, you don't come here and you bullshit. And that's from ages, we got them from ages 6 on up to 26. And I've got rid of some 9 and 10-year-olds. Some 9 and 11-year-olds. Y'all got to go. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all playing.
Yeah, playing.
That's how serious I am.
Steve,
this is a serious thing, man. You can get hurt.
Yeah, no, it is. Steve, is your ring elevated? How many feet? Is it 4 feet or you got the 1 foot?
Oh that's one of the issues is my ring. The main ring is just on the floor. It's one of the 4 rings.
Now we got that too.
I have a 2-foot elevated ring in the other room.
Yeah, we got one of our gyms is on the floor, and now we just got it elevated in our gym. I miss my gym so much, man. I see other
Keith
fighters.
Thurman. Remember Keith Thurman's gym? It was on the floor too.
Nah, man, his is like 5 inches off the floor. Keith Thurman's. But Steve, man, I want to thank you. I'm gonna send you some links, man, so you can see what it is that I was trying to hint at and see if we could do something in your gym. But I want to thank you again, man. This was a fantastic interview. We just had you not too long ago, but I think this was even better than the last time, man. Appreciate your time, and we look to get you back on.
Indeed, man.
Especially,
anytime, bro.
Listen, let's get your kids on before the tournament and after too, man. If we start building the amateurs now, you understand, they'll be bigger pros.
Right. Exactly.
People get to know them.
Right.
And get behind them, man.
That.
Nah, man, but thank you once again, Steve. Take it easy.
Man, appreciate y'all.
And enjoy the rest of your day. Salute, champ. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Right,
2-time IBF champion, Steve Cunningham, man. That was so great, those interviews. I mean, look at, bro, I'm not even faking it. Like, I really am enjoying these more and more. The fact that he knows Sean George, now I can't wait to run back to Sean when I get to the gym. Like, yo, he fought Chris Bird. Like, yo, Sean is so quiet that you don't know none of that. You just know he's this super young-looking trainer. Like, my man was a former champ, fought Chris Bird, knows like 5 languages. My man can speak English, French, Chinese. It's crazy, bro. He's all that. So, yeah, that was a good little...
Yo, let me just hit some of these super chats real quick. Kelly Thompson says, USS Cunningham spitting that hot heat. Double emoji fire. Ken Stone says, is the Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. pay-per-view for charity?
I don't know. I didn't hear that. They gonna get some money.
They said that, though. They said something about charity.
Yeah, that don't mean they giving up their whole purse. They gonna
exactly.
Some of the proceeds will go to charity.
Yeah, nah, they definitely got getting paid. I don't know how that stuff is gonna work out, but yeah, I did hear mention of that
Last one
exactly.
is
They're
from
doing it for charity.
last super chat from Gil, who says, "God bless the U.S. Cunningham, American flag emoji, and his family. One of my favorites." We're going out to the callers. I told you I was gonna be a long one. Lucky I ain't get Mike Polite. It'd have been even longer. But I see Doomy squirming over there. He ready to go. He got to walk the dogs.
Coming to America.
Stop playing, dog.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
Honestly, I really hope if you can, you buy at least a shirt. You know, I'm not asking everybody to buy a shirt, but whoever can, get one, you know, and support them, help them get to that tournament. You know, what I have learned from doing this job is that, you know, there is no support. I was shocked to hear he said he had a sponsor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For amateurs. Like, I was, oh, wow. He paid for all the flights? That's 7 kids, he said. That's a lot. So that's, you know, shout out to him. So, you know, whoever could afford a shirt, cop a shirt, man. Cop a shirt. Don't be a
Shirt
jerk.
looked pretty dope actually too. It got you know the silhouette of a man saluting, which I'm assuming is Steve himself. You know what I mean? And that's what we do out here, especially on the chat and when we talk to each other. You know, I salute you, champ. So you know what I'm saying? I salute you. Cop
And you
those shirts.
gotta salute him, man. I mean, a man that he's already at the second half of his career. He's already well off. You know, he's still giving back, not only teaching his sons, but he's teaching the youth. You know, it's 7 kids. It's not his 7 children. So, you know, there's
And you never know. You might just be supporting a true world future
champion. Yeah, future
you know?
world champion. Future world champion.
So when he's holding that belt up in the big stage, you'd be like, damn, I remember that time, you know what I'm saying, when we bought them shirts. You know, listen, you're building memories at the same time. So bless up to those who can. And, yeah, let's support our young fighters, bro, because, you know, Ness has been with me to amateur events, too, and it's like you ain't getting none of that. You know,
man.
you ain't getting no real crazy support.
But I'm trying to throw border wars in Pittsburgh. What y'all saying?
Man, I'm down. I knew it from the rip when you were talking about it. I was like, when is he gonna throw it in there? But he didn't throw it in there on live air.
I want him to see the video, but I hit up another gym. I'm trying to wait, man, but I think they ducking me, bro. I can't even believe it. Can't even believe I'm being ducked. But anyway, Caesar, Vegas, what up?
Cheers. Hey, you.
Caesar, just listening, going to greatness. Harlem, what up?
Hey, what happened?
Yo, how y'all living, man?
Chilling.
Y'all can hear me? Oh, all right. Bless, man. Yo, man, today was a good start, man. The interviews was definitely good. The knowledge that was shared today, I could definitely appreciate it. Definitely shout outs to the kids that's gonna be entering the tournament. I'm gonna make sure I get my shirt soon. And other than that, man, excellent show. Ness, real quick, can you unmute me? Like if by any chance, like when y'all call in, can y'all just unmute me as opposed to me? You know, sometimes I gotta unlock now.
Nah.
All right, man.
I
you
wish
know,
I could. That would have been a dope feature. They need to add that, but nah.
You know, it is what it is. We're gonna have to work. We're gonna have to work through it. But like I said, man, excellent show again. And yo, Ness, man, considering all the knowledge that you're getting right now with the.
We lost him.
How's Block Talk?
Now Block Talk is down, B. You know that was only set up for like 2 hours.
Damn.
This show is like a 4-banger.
Gay.
It's like a 4-banger.
But we still here. Callers, we're still here. Who next? Roll call. Or phone call?
No, actually, Skype is restarting. That's what that was.
Damn, yo, they hitting us with the super. Oh, man. What are we? Hey, what are we going to
Yo,
do?
so Mr. King Texas has mad emojis
Cat,
of
yeah,
cats.
cat emojis
Cat in a
and
box?
stuff.
What is that?
I
Is
don't
that
know,
YouTube
but
that provides that?
I think the sniper gang is just shooting it out of the water.
No, why is shooting out the cats? What's wrong with the cats?
I don't know. He said the cat is out the box, so to speak. I don't even know what that means.
Cat out the bag, baby. Cat's
But he's
out
in a
the bag.
but he's in a box.
I mean, brown paper bag box style.
Yeah, nah, shout out to you.
Brandon, Skype is restarting, man. It said y'all was acting up and they restarted.
Yo, they sent the agents. We're in the Matrix right now, battling and shit.
What if greatness still gone? Like, yo, peace.
And that's how the interview sometimes starts chopping up. It's like
they just keep talking.
That's crazy. But no, yo, definitely a lot of insight, man, from Steve, bro. He had a lot of insight for us on things. And look, the saga continues on the opinions of post Earl Spence and how he's gonna look, post crash. A lot of guys always, had him winning before the crash. A lot of people felt like he was like above on the percentages as far as winning, but the percentages obviously have changed, and rightfully so, right? You're gonna ask yourself about, especially if you're a betting man, right? You're gonna ask yourself these questions, and you're gonna actually take them to account. But haven't seen no weakness. We haven't been given the opportunity to see any weakness because there's no sparring or anything like that going on. I don't even think we've gotten that much tape on him punching a bag, and getting or sprinting or whatever it is.
Ellie put out some heavy bag of Earl.
It's minimal. It's very minimal.
It was.
So it's like, that's what I mean. I don't know if they're using it to like you said, use it as a tactic so that others could like kind of sleep on
to
it.
confuse people. That's how I took it. I mean, not how I took it, but I figured that could be a way or an option. But
I would.
Greatness, talk to us. Finish up. Sorry about that. We had to restart. Greatness.
Vamos, campeón.
I guess he's done. Trey in the Bay.
Mac Trey.
What up, y'all? I don't know if they can hear y'all. Greatness was just saying he didn't finish his call. So,
he came back on.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know if y'all can hear him. But shit, what was I gonna say? Oh man, just come back to me, y'all. I forgot my point.
We going Ringer, Josh in North Carolina. Josh in North Carolina. Josh in North Carolina. All right, we're going out to Brandon in Cincinnati.
Yo, what's going on, fellas? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, get back to the original topic. Listen, man, I like Danny Garcia as a person. If it was an award for a boxer with the most dripped, best dressed, he'd get my vote. I like the relationship he has with his girl. He's got the, he's on the beach gripping ass. I do that type of stuff with my girl. So I can relate to the guy outside of boxing. We have similar personalities. But when it comes to this fight, he has no chance. Accident, no accident, he cannot beat Errol Spence. Danny Garcia is a good welterweight. Not an elite welterweight. He's a good welterweight. Errol Spence is special. There's a difference between being a good welterweight and being a special welterweight. There's only two special welterweights in the division right now, and Danny ain't one of them. So that's just how I feel about it. I like Danny. I like the Miami Valley South Beach clothing line. I'm about to get me some of that shit. Keep grabbing that ass. But you ain't beating Errol Spence. And anybody who want to make a, gentleman's bet, feel free. I don't think y'all stupid either. But that's my call.
Say what? Brandon in Cincinnati. Looks like Greatness said he's ready now. He's figured out that mute button, I believe. Call him figure out the button. There he goes.
Ah, yeah, man, that mute button, man, is different, man. But I don't know where I got cut off at, but we ultimately, I was just saying that salute to the young guards that's entering that tournament. Most certainly gonna get my shirt, and we had some excellent interviews today, man. Definitely appreciate TBV and y'all, the energy that y'all putting behind these morning interviews. I like this run. Are we having overtime?
We not. Today is Thursday, so we back at 7, and obviously this is like a triple show right here with all the hours we've been on. I gotta do something after this though.
Oh no. Yeah, of course, man. But yo, again, that's man. I see the potential and what's about to happen, man. This was an excellent interview. Y'all, TBV don't need nobody, man. Y'all good by yourselves, man. Y'all set. That's for sure, man. Y'all stay blessed.
Thank you, brother. Looking like Info Joe. What do you know? Working? Is he working? Is he listening? All right. Oh, he's here.
Mr. Info Joe.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my brother.
Yo, good morning, man.
What up, champ?
Hey, great.
Dias, campeón.
Hey, what up, Alex? What up, Ness? Yo, what up to all the callers, everybody listening? Yo, great interviews, man. Shout out to Coach Anthony, man. Shout out to Steve Cunningham, man. Good luck to your fighters, man, in the tournament. I'm gonna try to purchase a shirt as well to support. Good giving back to the youth, man. First off. Far as Danny and Spence, man, before the accident, I would say Spence, hands down. Right now, we don't know what we got. And even without the accident, I still don't see any knockouts between both of them. I see a 7-5 fight. 7-5 fight. That's what it looks like when Spence fought Porter. It could have went either way until the knockdown happened. Then you had to give it to Spence. When Danny fought Thurman, 7-5 fight, man. When Thurman fought Porter, 7-5 fight, man. None of these dudes is really like shining like leaps and bounds above each other, man. I'm looking at a 50-50 fight right now, though. But I'm not making a pick, but that's all I got, family.
Joe, you the man. Let's see who's up next. Looking like J. Mac in the New Orleans.
You know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from Derek.
It can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing him.
You want to bet? You bet 100,000 on that.
Let's bet $1 million.
Easy. Let's bet $1 million.
Yo, good morning. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Loud and clear.
Oh, shout out to Info Joe. Keep telling us what he don't know, man. I keep telling that dude. He keeps saying these dudes on the same level, man. Bud is leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else in the sport, and we'll find that out one day. Great interviews. I actually met Coach Ant. We was in a barbershop in Newark, New Jersey. And I was trying to find out where I get a haircut at coming through one time. That's where I met you at the airport at, and that's the first time. I don't know if you remember that. We started talking boxing, and he was one of the guys that had a lot to say in the gym. So in the barbershop, so we started going back and forth. Of course, I asked him about the Philly fighters out there I knew was in the era, and he said he knew Danny Garcia, and I said something about his affiliations. And I remember he corrected me, say I ain't got no affiliations with him, but he started speaking on Danny and what he knew about Danny. So I met him before. He a cool dude. I had to have that barbershop set. Like, you talk boxing and y'all start going back and forth about fighters in the sport. Great interviews. Do Danny beat Errol before accident? No. Does he have a better chance now? Yes, only because we don't know how Errol looked. I still got Errol beating Danny, but I wouldn't be surprised if Danny for some reason, after how Errol looked in the Sean Porter fight, can counter him and potentially keep Errol off of him with them hooks. That's my first call.
1.5 call.
Let's go,
With
champ.
1:40, champ. Josh, North Carolina, what up? North Carolina.
TV. What's up?
What up,
Saw
champ?
here. What's going on with y'all? Hey man, I'm telling you right now, bro. Interviews, man. That Cunningham interview is probably my best interview I heard from y'all, bro. And I've been listening to y'all for a long time. My favorite. Excuse me, not my best. I would say my favorite because that's what's up. I might have to get some of them shirts too, for real, for real. To go on the topic though, yeah, man. Before like J Man said, before the accident, Danny Garcia didn't have no chance of beating Earl. He do got a better chance now of beating Earl. But what people got to realize, Earl, I think Earl, he need to work on that head movement, man. It's like he's stale up there to me. And I'm telling you, bro, he ain't ready for Crawford. If he living a clean lifestyle, like he says, it still don't even matter. Because one thing I can say about Crawford, you can kind of compare him to Mayweather as outside the ring is when it comes to his lifestyle, you know, he don't smoke or drink. You know what I'm saying? This, you know, Errol Spence, he out there drinking, boy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, like I said, man, this is great interviews, man. Y'all doing y'all thing. Keep on doing it, TBV. Y'all gonna grow and grow and grow. Y'all gonna be something big. Salute to y'all. I'm out.
Thank you for calling in, Josh. We're going out to North Carolina.
So interesting when you come across like a makeup, it's
And
really
no,
a
I
piece
mean,
of shit. Hey, you think come on. No, that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. You know, we're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it? I'll kill this mother.
Why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. Do you have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
Yo,
Champ.
what's up, y'all?
What up?
Since we talking Errol Spence, I don't want to keep saying what everybody else saying, but before the accident, I had a stronger chance on Errol beating Danny Garcia. After the accident, like we don't know what Errol coming back, but if I had to go off for the before the accident, I still thought it was a close fight. I don't see no fighter knocking each other out. They both look like they got strong chins. They both got a good foundation in the ring. You know, they stance, they got good balance from each other. I could see Errol beating him like Info and them said, like a 7-5 type of fight. I don't see Errol stopping Danny or knocking him out and stuff like that. It's just a tough fight to call. I mean, the skills there are high level for both of them. Errol got a little more skill, I think, got more arsenal in his tank. It's just gonna be a close fight, and hopefully we get the same Errol back that we had before the fight. And I still got Errol beating the dog shit out of Bud.
All right. Keem in Florida, what up?
I opened the door for audiences and all of sports to go back to the way it was in Jesus' name. Amen. It's done. The fight, I'm making $10 million. I'm not really worried about what he making on him.
I believe you.
That's why you
you
gonna see in Jesus' name. Amen. With Errol Spence. Man, you're not fighting Errol Spence. Shut the fuck up. Oh.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, champ.
All right, cool. Great interviews, man. Both of them was great. Ness, I really noticed, bro. You really like to debate. Like today, you was sounding like a Danny hater, but we know you was a fan. But just cause Coach Ant came on here like heavy DSG, you were like, but yo, what is you really talking about? Like, you know what I mean? It's funny because it's certain like you just see you know how you'll pick a side in a debate and almost go against yourself, like sometimes because like I said, we
There's
know you're a
always
Danny
two
fan,
sides to the debate,
but today
though.
you was like not with just because somebody was on the show like bigging up Danny, you like, but yo, wait, what are you really talking about? It's just funny, man. It's good though for the show because you are good at debating, but it's just funny like to see that. But yeah, great interview with Steve Cunningham too, man. I was actually planning on going to that Sugarbird tournament because there's like 5 guys from the gym I go to that are gonna be competing there. So I was thinking about going there and to hear that he'll be there. That's
Yo, the
cool,
world
man.
is so small, man. That's crazy. You was
Yeah,
already
Sugarbird
planning.
is huge down
No,
here
I
in
know
Florida.
Sugarbird is huge, but the fact that you're a listener, he's on the show, and you was already planning on going,
Mm-hmm.
that's dope.
This is a small world, man. It's crazy. Like I told you, the dude that's the trainer in the gym I go to is the brother of the trainer of Rashidi Ellis, who you had on the show last week, or what was that, 2 weeks ago when we had them on. Just a small world, man. It's
Yo,
crazy.
Keem, let me find out you trying to be a border war sleeper. Now all of a sudden you going to tournaments,
Just
you training at a
chill,
gym.
champion. Chill. Ain't no all of a sudden. We've been doing this. You know what I mean? But nah. And yo, listen. Danny had this fight set up with Earl before the accident. All right, he had a date. You know, Red Cats was not supposed to be the opponent. Danny Bain wanted this smoke. You know, Earl got into the accident, couldn't make the fight. So now they're making it now. But I've been hearing a lot of people, Danny's only making the fight because Errol had an accident. That ain't true. I already got a little friendly wager with Mr. 704. I'm rocking with DSG. Okay, what y'all got to say? I'm on the back call. I'm ready for all the smoke, man. Team Danny over here. Appreciate it.
All right. King Amin, New Jersey, what up?
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean.
TBV, top of the morning. Y'all, I'm doing burpees.
I was wondering. I was like, "What is he doing right now? Is he's blowing the OG ski too hard, or you cutting out?"
Nah. I had my hand cutting out. I think I was blocking the phone. My bad. Yo, Brandon call troubled me because it made me think. Because it made me come to the conclusion Danny Garcia is a butter knife, and I mean that respectfully. A knife is still a weapon, right? If Spence is seasoned properly, you know what I'm saying, Danny could do what he needs to do. But he's basic. Like Danny not gonna rip you up, but he can damage you. So I'm still gonna pick him. But Brandon, man, you messed me up with that call, man. You hurt me, man. That's my call.
Nah, man, I don't even know where Brandon was coming from like that, Champy. He totally said he has no chance. No chance. And it's crazy because, like, come on now. What you mean, no chance? The thing is that Danny, I guess Danny's never out there really, really talking about how he could beat you up. And, like, he's out there in the social media, but he's not really out there. You feel me? He's sort of like quiet when it comes to, like, talking about the other fighter and what he's going to do to the other fighter, where he is in the division and all that stuff. Most of the time you see Angel handling that. You know, Pops is usually the one talking. But, nah, man, Danny's very much a contender and a threat to this fight. But, like I said, man, we're going to leave Brandon to his opinion. Say he got no chance.
I mean, we'll see. I doubt that no chance stuff because Danny, you know, hasn't been blown out yet. You know what I mean? He ain't been able to get that win in the last, 4 or 5 years. That's big, but he ain't been blown out. King Born, what up?
Yo, peace, fellas. Peace, everybody. Listen, man. You know the black man, original man, but you also got power rule, the nation of gods and earth, and power rule is Puerto Rico. So I'm gonna tell you something right now. Brandon talking about a butter knife. A butter knife, yeah, it cuts butter, but if it poke you, it's going through you hard enough, right? So we can't sleep on this man. I don't know how it's gonna be, but it's going to be a hell of a fight. I don't think nobody getting knocked out, though. I love the interviews. I like what Steve Cunningham said. He was holding on me like he was trying to take me to the room, had me dying. I like Coach Anthony, but when we get back to this Danny Errol, man, like, yo, it might be 60-40, might be 50-50. I'm just ready for the fight, y'all. We could debate back here. We could debate on here. Let's get it popping, man. You only got 2 more months, y'all. 2 more months. You know what I mean? And it's on November 21st, 5 days before Thanksgiving. So it's going to be a hell of a fight. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? Peace.
Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. We're at 115,218, which means we just lost one. We were at 19. So looks like we need 82 kind folks to get us to our next weekly goal of 100 subs.
Let's
And
get these subscriptions up,
I know, man. We're
champs.
trying to get
We
to
out here.
115,300. So we just need 82 more
Look. Maybe we're
TBV
not
Army
just.
members.
Maybe they're not understanding what we're trying to do. We're
What are we
just
trying to
trying to
do,
get.
though? What are we
We're
trying to
trying to
do,
get.
though?
We're trying to get boxing out there to more people. Let them know how much we care about the sport. That we report on it each and every day. You know what I'm saying? Bringing
Every
you the new.
morning, every morning. We are your morning show. You know, I was talking to a publicist the other day. The publicist of like Laura, like all the Cubans, and he's like, "Damn, bro, you guys go every day, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, we the morning show. We like the one, like the Breakfast Club of boxing." So we're trying to get it done. Let me see. Looks like Lids Low, Decatur, Georgia. What up?
Champ, you sound a little far away.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me say first, is fire. And in case you don't understand what that mean they are great, bro. It's not only the fact that y'all get the foe, it's the the energy they give back. So kudos to y'all on that, man. Keep that shit going, man. Y'all rocking that. As far as this whole Danny and Earl got a big ass question mark on him, folks. Regardless of y'all his talent, he is spot. But y'all gotta remember that y'all ain't all the way. Man, got oh, excuse the language. We just gonna have to see. But I ain't gonna lie. I'm leaning toward Danny. I ain't even gonna lie. And it ain't no hate or nothing like that. Just that from what I see, I'm going with Danny, bro. So you know what I mean? I wish them both the best, but I hope Earl ready, man, because Danny ain't nobody to come back to. I'm just gonna leave it on that. Y'all stay up. Y'all hit them on like buttons. So get a coach t-shirts and everything. Y'all stay up. I'm out there camp.
Yo, look at 704 trying to inbox me to fight to take Delorme over Jamal. Bruh, first of all, you ain't offering me no odds. He want to make all these straight money bets, bruh. I'm a real better. You better give me odds. Crazy. Let me see here. I got Davidian. What up, man? Been a minute. Where you been at? Niagara
Hey, what's going
Falls. What's
on? Can
going
you?
on?
What's going on, Ness? What's going on? Do me. Yeah, I know it's been a minute, but yeah, I finally feel okay to come out. But no, I've been listening to TBV, so I'm never gonna stop. So I don't know. I'm just happy the fight is happening. That's a really good fight. I like Danny Garcia and I like Errol Spence. Um, I don't know. We have to see when they get in there. But I really do like Errol Spence though. As long as he's disciplined and he says he's all right, I think he's gonna do good. But you know, we have to see because Garcia is pretty dangerous though too. So we'll see. I can't wait. That's it.
All
God
right.
bless.
All right. Likewise, champ. Looking
Champ.
like we got Majid, Florida. What up?
What up? What up? Um, everybody need to subscribe to that and help them get to the goal. But I don't know. I feel like if Errol Spence, if he got some good punch resistance on that face, on that chin, then he should be able to outwork Danny, and get it by decision. I don't know about nobody getting dropped or anything, but if that chin ain't right, I think that the Danny Garcia counters, could do some crazy ass damage, probably knock a draw out of place or something. But I don't know, man. I don't know who to go for. I'm about to just watch as a fan. But like I said, everybody subscribe to the channel, help me reach that goal. I'm out.
My Gene
Thanks, bro.
Babe.
Money.
Yo, great, hello guy. Yo, great show. 2 days in a row, the interviews were on fire. I am gonna say this though. Do me. Oye, tú y yo vamos a tener problemas. Si tú no me das la voz del boxeo antes que se termine el año, you getting a two piece. You
Damn,
getting a
with a
two piece.
biscuit on the side.
I've had it, B. I'm waiting for that show, man. You do a great job. I mean, tremendous translation yesterday with Pedro Diaz, really giving that that Latin Caribbean flavor. Um, Man, you did a great job, B. I want to see, and I think it's also going to add another layer to the show and possibilities because there'll be more chances to break more news because you put a microphone into a Latin fighter's face, he's gonna say something. It's just the
Yeah.
nature of how we talk. We like to talk. We like to be boisterous, and um, you saw it with Pedro. I mean, he was all over the place, getting that Ness. But yeah, man, great show, guys. Continue to do the good job. Ness, what do I got to do to get this guy to give me that voz de boxeo?
It's coming, man.
Yo, I
Everything's
told
getting more
y'all, man. I
organized.
told y'all years ago, Doomy is not good at doing more than one thing. So he's doing memberships. Until he's done with that, don't expect nothing else out of my man.
Look. I'll
That's
tell
just
you
how
this,
he
Miami.
is.
I'm gonna put it this. I'm gonna let you hold me to that. That by the end of the year, Voz del Boxeo will be up and running, kicking off, because that's something that I've been really wanting to do. And thankfully I have a friend though. Even though he jabs me every second he gets, he's been patient with me and along my journey here at TBV. And I think I'm at a point right now that I'm a little more solid than I ever been, and it's just a matter of us just keeping this consistency. And trust me, bro, yo quiero traerle la noticia a todo el Caribe, a todo el Suramérica, a todo Centroamérica, hasta los hermanos allá en España que hablan así. We're gonna bring it to them too. So it's coming, champion. It's coming definitely soon, man. Now, the memberships, that's coming very soon. So for all the TBV fam, get ready because the TBV army is going to explode with this. It's going to be a lot of cool things and features and things that you can do and can have and can play with on the chat. And it's just so much stuff that I'm going to be saying on a video that we're going to actually be making very soon. I'm going to get a haircut hopefully this week, by the end of the week, and we'll get that video running because I definitely don't want anybody seeing me all over the internet explaining something looking like my man Khabib. But shout out to Khabib anyway. Yeah, so it'll be coming soon, guys. A video will come out before all that. We'll have shows on that so that when we integrate it, everybody fully understands it, and our Patreons especially are happy with it, and nobody's going to be left behind or feel like they're not getting something that it's on the tier that they choose. So yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. Dímelo.
How do I say?
How do I
say goodbye? Nah, let me get to Sony.
Hey, good morning, TBV. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
We can hear you, champion.
Hey, yo, shout out to Steve Cunningham. You know what? Sometimes you guys do interviews and it be with a fighter that I wasn't a fan of, and he just come off like a real humble and real individual. Steve Cunningham struck me in that way, bro. Shout out to that dude, bro. Much success to him. And as far as the Danny Garcia and Errol Spence, now when we had this conversation before the pandemic, around the time that he had that accident, I said Danny Garcia, what's the fight he should take? He should take a 2-0 between. Then the COVID happened. And now you guys dropped a bombshell on me in that interview, and it's like, yo, dude, got to get new teeth put in. I'm like, oh, man, dude. Yo, I'm still rooting for my man Errol Spence, but, yo, Danny Garcia, yo, that's a tough fighter to come back from, and I'm a fan of him. And y'all need to put some respect on Danny's name, bro. He is an elite fighter in my eyes. You know what? So, hey, yo, much love to TVD. Great show. And keep it going.
Sony, man, thank you for calling in. Want to thank everybody that hit us with a super chat. We do appreciate, obviously, you guys and your hard-earned money. We out here working, and we appreciate that you appreciate us. So especially, so many of you guys that are return super chatters like Javier Caputillo, Supermex, Esso Acuni, Ken Stone, Gil, Kelly, which is really Kels, Killer Kels in LA. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody, man. C Dub, everybody that continues to support. We're just gonna keep working and keep trying to get better at what we're doing. Sony, thanks for calling in. Let me go out to Steve. I'm gonna go to Stonebone first. Steve, you already know why. I gotta get to work for you. Stonebone, what up?
What up? What up? Yeah,
Morning,
man.
champ.
Very inspirational, man. In Pittsburgh, in the Midwest, we consider Pittsburgh the Midwest because it's right there by Ohio. It's a different feel than Philly. You know what I mean? Philly is real East Coastish. Pittsburgh is more like Ohio than it is anywhere else in Pennsylvania. So, but Danny, Danny and Earl, I see Danny being able to do some good things. It's not that Earl is flat footed, but Danny is more flat footed than him. So but he's gonna generate a different type of power than Earl used to, a different type of snap. Earl haven't fought nobody with no snap like that, a real counter puncher like that. Danny is gonna be waiting for Earl to get lazy and push his jab so Danny will take the jab to the face, he don't care. He'll parry it wherever he gotta take it to return a shot. So Earl better have his head on the swivel for trying to throw out his jab, and Danny eating it and firing right off and catch and shoot, different ways like that. So, and I did a little research, man. I didn't know nobody with fake teeth, so I found somebody with fake teeth, and they was like, well, I used to have dent or like glue ends, and then they got the screw ends. And he said his jaw, he's 67 though, but he said he had some health reasons. He said his jaw was hurting for months. He would wake up with pain for months later. Like the first month, he was straight when he got him drilled in, but he was like at months after that, you was having issues knowing, like waking up with that pain, knowing that you got screws drilled in your mouth, holding your teeth in. So, this is a closer one than it used to be, but I'm still leaning towards Earl. I'll catch y'all later.
All right, guys, that's everybody. There's one or two of you that may have a boomerang, but remember, we got to go. And Doomy's probably not going to come with me anymore because it's already 12:40, so I'm solo on this one. But we are back at 7 for previews and predictions of this week's fights. And we also got 2 interviews scheduled for that. Actually, 3. So that's going to be another long show. It's not what I want to do, right? Before you guys start bothering me, talking about, oh, why are you doing so many interviews on Thursdays? That's the day for the callers. Listen, if I don't wet one hand, the other one ain't going to get washed. You understand? So I can't only cater to East Coast people and East Coast fighters and East Coast publicists and East Coast promotions. Like, I got to get West Coast fighters on. And everybody's in Vegas right now because of the pandemic. So, if you want Laura, he's in Vegas. Barrios is all the way in Oakland over there with Verge, wherever the hell Verge is at. Everybody is West Coast, man. Everybody. Reese Alim, who was just on Showbox, West Coast. Everybody, man. Everybody that I'm talking to is West Coast. Like, Roberto Diaz, we didn't have that one at the time that we were supposed to because of the West Coast. He asked to reschedule. I still ain't sent him a time. Why? Because West Coast times suck. Right now it's like 9:30 for them. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's already half the day done for me. They just waking up. They need to get that world together over there. When you're on the West, you're like behind everything. You're not first. You're last. Anyway, that's GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Catch us on the next one, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Where we're going to have Islandri Laura. We'll also have... Who else I said?
Well, we're going to have Mario Barrios today.
Barrios and Zach, Mystic Zach.
Peace. I pick wins.
Peace.
That's his name. But yeah, catch me on IG, Alex_Doomsday_LAINEZ.
Hold
and
on,
TikTok.
hold on. I ain't go to Trey at all. Trey, I just said I was not giving anybody the boomerang, so I gotta go. Didn't I go to you at all? Trey. You live now. You gonna say something? You gonna say something? You gonna say something? You gonna say something?
Chan.
You gonna say something? She not. All right, we out. Peace.